Wanderers, welcome to episode 217. Before we get started, let's hear from our title sponsor for this episode, Santa Claus Exterior Cleaning.
Ho, ho, ho! Hello there! It's your old pal Santa Claus. Yes, the Santa. And I'm here to talk to you about one of my very favorite companies, Santa Claus Exterior Cleaning. They do it all. Low-pressure roof and exterior washing, pressure washing, and even concrete sealing. Gutter clog removal? Check. Window cleaning that will make your reflection wave back at you? Double check. They also have specialized procedures for cleaning food processing areas, solar panels, and even memorials and headstones. Now, hold your reindeer. They don't just like the dirty work. They're introducing a brand new product this year, decorative concrete coating. 4 times stronger than epoxy, and it's tougher than your mother-in-law's fruitcake, and will last longer than a New Year's resolution. It will never fade, chip, or peel. On top of that, it comes with a limited lifetime warranty, because no one likes returning presents. They're not all soaps and suds, though. Since day one, they've donated 10% of their profits back to local children in need. Kind of like me, but they don't break into your house at night for cookies. Their technicians are OSHA certified, professionally trained, and can help you with residential, commercial, or industrial projects. So if your place looks like it hosted the after party for the naughty list, call Santa Claus Exterior Cleaning. They'll clean it up. 812-545-7050 or santaquotes.com.
Big thank you to Santa Claus Exterior Cleaning. Before we get into the show, just want to remind you, if you're listening on YouTube, thank you, but let's make sure you're subscribed. If you're listening on Spotify or one of the other multitude of platforms we're on, take a moment, pause the action, head on over to YouTube. If you don't have a YouTube account, Smoke, go ahead and create a YouTube account and subscribe to the Wondering Dutchmen. Your subscription helps us as we push to 1,000 subscribers. If you're on social media, we are too. Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, MySpace, Truth Social, you name it. Well, we're not on some of those. I just threw them in there, Dave.
It's fine.
That's all part about it, though. But hey, sit back and enjoy the show.
The Wondering Dutchmen podcast,
where none of us are Dutch, but we all live in Holland, Indiana. Join us where we talk about what we all wonder about. This is the Wondering Dutchmen podcast, coming to you from Smoker's Lounge.
The Wondering Dutchmen. Yeah, yeah. The Wondering Dutchmen. Yeah, yeah.
Hear ye, as we come forth for the show today. Welcome to episode 217. Keeping score at home. This is season 2. Episode 17. Today's date is February 15th. It'll be coming out on February 23rd in the Lord's year of 2024. I am Casey, joined here to my right with his rose-colored glasses is Smoke Dragon. Sitting over there in the very sporty maroon track is our friend Big Mace.
how's it going?
And Dutch couch guy
Yeah,
is sitting over there on the couch
looks
with
like
his
a Russian pilot.
beautiful beard and comrade, and the only one of this trio that has diabetes. But before we jump into it, fellas, let's bring in our buddy Matt Krieg for Hour 1. Hour 1 is presented by Matt Krieg of Krieg Insurance. I was on the Googler machine looking up some things, and I came across the list that had the top 10 traits of successful insurance agents. They ranged from problem solver and self-motivated to honest and resilience. The 2 that really stuck with me were passionate and good listener. By the time I finished the list, I realized that I was looking at the traits of our buddy, Matt Krieg. Whether you are looking for life insurance, health insurance, or Medicare supplements, Matt Krieg is dedicated to helping you and your family. Give Matt a call today and see what he can do for you.
There we go.
Hey, Big Mace, Sporty Spice?
Yeah, baby. Ice Spice. You know who Ice Spice is?
The devil worshiper.
Is she?
Yeah,
Upside
that's what
down
they said
cross.
about, and she did this little like,
She was doing something like.
Hook 'em horns.
no, it was something like.
I thought she
like
had them
this?
like upside down.
no,
No, it
not the
wasn't a
shocker.
Oh.
Wait, speaking of that, did you see the guy that sent out the picture of the Neapolitan ice cream? And it was
He was holding it like that.
two in the and one in the. Anyways,
Shit.
no, I didn't know who Ice Spice was until
She was a Spice Girl.
No, she was not. You were wrong.
Ice Spice isn't a Spice Girl?
I mean, she was. No, Sporty Spice,
Yeah,
Posh
Oh,
Spice.
I just
sex-
assumed she was a Spice Girl.
No, way. This is a new.
Oh.
A new
She's
weirdo.
young.
a
I
new
thought she
weirdo
looked young. That's why I believe the devil
that somebody's
worshiped.
been told that she has a ton of talent. Probably not all AI generated sounds.
I don't know. Now,
Just a
let's
pretty
not
face.
cut her too short. I mean, she talks.
Hey, when you start doing like the devil worship shit on national TV, and
well,
Super
maybe
Bowl-
she's part of the Illuminati.
Oh,
Is the Illuminati devil worshippers? I don't know
No,
much
I
about it.
don't know.
Um.
What you got going on, big fella?
Well, I found out today I got to have surgery on my foot,
Mm-hmm.
so got to get that scheduled up. T's and P's would be great for that. So,
Well, let's go ahead and let's not just say surgery on your foot.
why?
There has to be
Oh, I have a ganglion cyst.
to remove.
Yeah, I have a, what do they call it? As ganglion cyst resection on my medial tarsi, which is basically on the inside of my right ankle. And
I
then
thought it was on the outside.
it's on the inside.
I'll be damned.
Yeah, and then they're going to do a nerve release on all of the nerve tunnels into my foot.
Mm.
You might be running up and down the county road.
I'll be laid up for a while, but hopefully that'll take care of the pain.
How's the city going to survive without you?
They'll be fine.
You for sure about that?
yeah,
I
no-
think you're underselling what you
no
bring
s-
to the operation.
No sweat on
Okay.
the deal there, but other than that, no. The weather is slowly starting to turn, but
What did I say last week?
that 4-letter S word's in the forecast for tomorrow night. I don't know if you guys seen that or not.
1 to 2 inches.
Yeah, which I don't know if we'll get that. I think most of it's going to push north, but
Jenna's going to.
yeah, nice.
Oh, smoke dragon.
Cut out.
No, let it fly.
I had to find it. But other than that, no. Basketball season is getting ready to fire up again. Like Smoke Dragon said, that the boys got a tournament this weekend. The old Southridge shootout's going down. I think the 5th graders are playing in the middle school gym.
Oh, okay.
Where's Wyatt playing?
Well, Wyatt's not playing.
Oh, I thought you said he was.
West,
Oh, Weston. Yeah, where's he playing?
south, somewhere in Huntingburg.
One of the gyms there.
Yeah.
Okay. Have to maybe try to catch that. But other than that, no. That's really all I got. I mean, as far as, how my week's been.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good update. Smoke dragon?
Got the DIY stereo put on the Harley the other night, and then rode that SOB into work the other morning.
You rode it yesterday morning,
Yes,
and it was 30
29 when I dropped
Yeah.
Wyatt off at school at 8. But when I left at 5,
in his motorcycle. What now?
so I drove to work at 5. Jenna brought Wyatt to town for an ortho appointment at 7. She had an appointment at 8, so she brought him to me at work. I drove him to school from Jasper,
In what vehicle?
the truck that I took to work at 5 in the morning. So
And
I
then-
dropped Wyatt off at 8, and I was like, buddy, it is sunny. I'm riding that bike in because it's going to be 60 degrees.
So you drove to work at 5 in your
Yeah,
truck.
regular time, yeah.
Yeah. And then you drove back home after dropping your
Yeah,
kid off.
because
at
it's just
school.
right there. So I was like, it's going to be 60 degrees after work. I'm taking that bike. He's like, Dad, there's frost on the cars. It's like, it'll be fine. It definitely was not fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
It
look
was
real
good
chilly.
through Huntingburg, but when I got on 231,
Oh, God.
like it got hard. I think my eyelids were freezing. Like I
yeah.
couldn't hardly blink.
Huh.
And my crappy ass gloves weren't
Oh,
real
how'd that
warm
work?
gloves.
Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, so I went in to hide in one of the, like, kind of this back area because I was looking pretty rough, trying to get my blood pumping again. And so I was like, Jesus, he's having a heart attack. I was like, nope, just real cold. So,
Like an old frog, like a lizard, you know what I mean? Snapping turtle that you drag through the ice. Like it.
but it was a good ride that afternoon, so it was worth it. It was
Yeah, the
worth
picture looked a little chilly.
It was super cold.
It looked a little chilly. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
But I got to ride, so that's good.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's
is good.
great. What about you, Casey?
Not a thing. Not a thing. Not a thing. I don't know. Not a whole lot going on. Kind of getting that early spring rhythm in. A little baseball. Boys been working hard. Work's been busy. Work's been really busy lately. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I didn't go up there to work,
Yeah.
as hard as I have to, Dave. It's
Right.
kind of a,
You
anyways,
get that.
yeah.
Oh, I rinsed my bacon tonight.
Is that what that big foamy shit in the
Nope,
driveway is?
You rinsed your bacon.
So, Little Dixie Girl made an appearance last week's show. She'd been being kind of a bad dog.
Oh.
She's been peeing a lot on the carpets, all the rugs that we have. And so Mrs. Smoker was home today. She'd had enough, so she took all the carpets outside and she scrubbed them all off. So what you saw there is soap from that.
suds. Yeah, okay.
And the little dog was outside all day. And Jenna put some of the rugs back down, and she came inside and went right to a rug and pissed on it.
No way.
Yeah.
Why?
She's just been doing it. Like, she'll go sit on the front, like, we'll let her out in the morning, and she'll just sit there on the front, little porch thing. Walk around, sniff around outside, no big deal. Come scratch on the door, come inside and piss on the rug.
Call Janelle.
Did you ever rub her nose in it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
Just real weird. So anyway, lots of rug washing. She's in doggy timeout. She's in her box.
I heard her barking. Yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty upset, but you're gonna do the crime, you're gonna have to do the time.
Yeah.
like they
Yeah,
say.
you're exactly right. This past Sunday was the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
We had the
Rough.
Kansas City Chiefs win another one.
Back to back.
And I wouldn't hate the Kansas City Chiefs if it wasn't for Jackson Mahomes, Brittany Mahomes,
And Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I'd be all in on them. A Midwest team, Andy Reid. I'm a big fan of Andy Reid.
I like Andy Reid too. Travis Kelce's a bitch, by the way.
Whoa.
Now that's
Did you
the
see him?
one that's
Did you see him push?
Now, hold
Did you
on.
see him shove Andy Reid?
I see where you're at. Yeah, that's uncalled for.
Slammed his helmet down, punched another guy on the sideline,
Now-
like throughout the season.
his brother, the big guy. He seems
Jason-
like a good
Jason
time.
Kelsey is hilarious. Did you see him? Did you see his bibs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see him wearing the luchador mask
Yes.
at the concert? Now that son of a bitch looks like he'd be fun to hang out with.
Oh, for
I
sure.
just wonder, I've just like bits and
What
pieces
their
of
mom
everything.
thinks?
And then their podcast, she knows it's baked into the cake. But Jason Kelsey's wife, Kylie,
Yeah.
seems to be pretty down to earth
Oh, yeah.
person. And I just don't see her being one to
Did you
enjoy
see him
the
ripping
scene.
her ass? She was ripping his ass, the shirtless thing.
Yeah.
Whenever he jumped out of the suite and got into the bleachers with her shirt off, I guess she was in the background bitching at him, like, get in here, like, get your ass back in here.
Well,
I
behind
bet
every
she'd
seems
get
like-
along with our wife.
That's
but-
what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. Yeah.
maybe, and this is an official invite, Jason Kelsey, if you would like to come
Yeah.
on to the show,
Come on and hang
we'd
out.
be more than happy to have
And
you.
Bring your wife, and she can kick it with our wives back on the couch.
Bitch about what we do. I just the thing like the Jackson Mahomes thing that's been for a long time.
Now who's that?
That's
Pat-
Patty's brother.
Okay.
He's useless.
He
Is he a football player?
no,
too?
sir.
No.
He's a coattail rider.
Oh.
Yeah, the only thing that he's done
Did you
well.
see
is-
him get denied
Oh, that was so
by
good.
the guy working the gate?
What?
Brittany Mahomes,
Yeah,
Patrick's wife,
Mhm.
was trying to get Jackson Mahomes into like
I think I saw
after party or a
snippet of
private
that.
table
Like
or
a
just
VIP
VIP table or something, and the guy wouldn't let him in.
yeah.
And Brittany was like, sorry,
See ya,
and
pal.
then turned around and walked off.
Well, and Jackson Mahomes had that allegation. There was the sexual assault or sexual battery allegation that mysteriously just
Oh yeah,
went away. Brittany Holmes has grown on me a little. Mahomes has grown on me a little bit.
Show.
Yeah, the Sports
Swimsuit?
Illustrated. Yeah,
Oh, God.
that helped me get over
The red, the little
Yeah.
red unit there. Brittany.
saw-
looking good, looking good, Britt.
So Patty Mahomes' dad just got a DUI like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, he did.
And I saw something online that said he's going to have to change his last name to Patrick Mahouse Arrest. Because he has that State Farm commercial too,
Yeah.
where it's Mahomes.
That's funny.
And it was something like that. It was like house arrest. But the Taylor Swift. So
Yeah.
Janelle kept counting.
drinking game.
8. I think they showed her 8 times on the broadcast.
Drinking game. It was a thing at the Shirley's. There was a drinking game every time they showed Taylor on TV. We would scream Taylor, and then everybody would take a big slam out of their beer.
Does it not just seem weird how it all just kind of comes together and happens?
Well, sure.
Like 2 people
Oh yeah.
and completely different opposite aspects of life all of a sudden just happen to.
Now, who
come
was the
together.
real big, tall black woman that in the red
That was
get up that gave Travis a big hug after the game on the field, and he slipped a hand down with a big old ass grab.
I don't think that was this year, was
they
it?
caught on TV. Was that this year?
I think
I don't
that
know.
was different.
I thought it was.
I don't know when
know.
that Travis guy got in Andy Reid's face.
Yeah.
Whenever that happened,
That
I
was
went
the
to bed
first
about
half.
5 minutes after
That
that.
was in the first half.
So
Oh, he
anything
didn't-
that happened after that, it was a long day butchering Saturday, and then I had to clean up everything Sunday, and I was just ready for bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the halftime show? Usher looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's making Jenna TikTok famous.
I don't know.
Is there a little snippet of that?
Is that sad that we've been at this for 2 years, 17 episodes
Mhm.
into 2 years? So what is that? 69 episodes. This is episode 69. But that she does one little TikTok and it's going to have 1 million.
Well,
bet you.
that's just what you call being smart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that was.
Well, I think she was speaking to the nurse fan base. That's pretty big fan base.
Yeah.
Nurse talk is
yeah.
big.
Yeah.
Nurse talk is big. I got
It's
stuck on.
relatable, apparently.
I got stuck on cancer talk again this week.
Oh, tough spot.
Very tough spot.
I've been on, Road King talk a lot.
Yeah,
Mm,
that is.
no.
Alicia Keys looked good.
Yeah. Jermaine Dupri.
It was kind of a
Luda. It was literally like
Little John and East Side Boys
what? It was literally a walk down memory lane for me,
to high school.
for all of us. Yeah.
Dave, that was
Minus
probably 10 years
God.
before Dave,
Minus
or 10
Dave.
years after Dave's time.
Minus Dave. Yeah.
It was didn't really pay attention a whole lot to the game until like the fourth quarter.
Yeah, the first half sucked. Like it was just a boring ass defensive shootout.
What is Shanahan doing? Taking the ball in overtime,
Yeah.
even though it's not.
I don't know.
like,
And then
sudden death.
what is the lineman doing by like on the extra point, trying to cut block every person. You got to get some hands and guts. You got to
Yeah.
get them hands down, and extra points matter, boys. I mean, that's
Yeah, they do.
obviously.
Well, we found that
We've
out.
seen that firsthand. There in the
Speaking
old
of
Super Bowl.
hands and guts, so you did some pretty hardcore butchering.
Yeah, we did 2 hogs on Saturday.
How was it?
Long?
We need a bigger grinder.
Well, so bigger grinder, but also not used to the same group doing all the tasks. So typically we've got like a cut table where you're cutting your primal cuts and steaks or whatever, and then you've got like a deboning and grinding station, and then you got a pack table. So waiting on everything one at a time, it took
Forever.
11 hours to do 2 hogs, which we cut them up. I don't know, 3.5 hours, I think. But you got to stop and then debone. So, but we were cutting a half at a time. So it just took
Was it just you two?
forever.
Barracks.
Barracks were here.
I left early. I had kids to tend to. I left somewhat early, but yeah, it was.
Yeah. So, but Wyatt and Barracks' daughter were running the grinder, so they kept that going pretty well.
Didn't
But we
lose any
ground-
fingers.
No, but we ground
That's good.
3 times: coarse grind, fine grind, then stuff the tubes. So, we ground 150 times 3. So
450.
there you go.
Look here, Rayman.
Bunch
Yeah.
of shit. Yeah, and just a normal residential style grinder, So
Mhm. Yeah, we
it was
gotta
all right.
upgrade
We'll,
that
we'll
next
upgrade that baby.
So I got a story I've been waiting to tell you guys.
Okay, good.
Let's
Because
hear
I
it.
got another one that's I thought was recent, but is old. But that's okay.
So Monday, I had an appointment with Teresa Treader, John.
Yeah,
Um,
love her,
put her
lifesaver.
onto the Wondering Dutchmen podcast. We were talking about it.
She knew.
She's working on my foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I convinced her. I said, if you're going to start in an episode, start in the one with our buddy Curdy G, which I have a great idea for Curdy G. Curdy G, reach out. I got a good idea for you. All you got to do is just give me a little cut of the pie. But got an idea for you. I think it would be great. Hasn't been done. And I'm not going to describe it to where everybody will know Smoke because we have a habit of that.
Yeah.
So anyways, I get done with my appointment and I'm like, got a little hunger. It's breakfast time. I'm going to go down to Casey's and get me a slice of Casey's pizza, breakfast pizza. So there's a little El Salvadorian fella in front of me at the checkout. And I know you're wondering, how do I know he's El Salvadorian? I'm glad you asked. It was on his shirt. Little soccer jersey action.
Nice.
Not most people are not repping El Salvador unless you have reason to.
Right.
So I just kind of look over his shoulder at his purchases. He had 2 Red Bulls and a box of Trojan Magnum condoms.
Nice.
Monday morning, 9 a.m.
Monday morning, 9
a.m.
2 boxes?
No, 2 Red
Red
Bulls.
Bulls.
Oh, 2 Red
One
Bulls.
box.
One box.
Of
Needed them
Magnums.
wings to
Of-
get through the Magnums.
Which,
Yeah.
I mean, if he's packing Magnums, like he didn't look like a very big guy on the outside. I know they say don't judge a book
Tripod.
by the cover, but didn't look like he was packing something that would need that.
Cesar always says he's black from the waist down.
I guess that's,
You know what I mean?
well, they
Like
can be small too.
tripod, third
Yeah.
leg.
So this cat, anyways, the guy checking out, like I'm back there giggling like a little schoolgirl. And so I get up to the checkout and I was like, man, my Monday doesn't seem as exciting as that guy's. And he's like stopped what he was doing. He looked at me. And there was a pause and then it finally registered. He's like, oh yeah. Yeah, that's kind of wild purchases, isn't it, man? I was like, yeah.
Is he big guy?
The El Salvadorian?
No, sir, the one working.
No, he kind of scrawny guy.
Okay.
But it was just that's how my week started. Was this guy
Hard to
walking
live up to
in?
that.
Yeah, when you're getting a box of Magnums, at which you could go down to CVS, but you stop at Casey's, get you 2 Red Bulls,
We
and get you a box of Magnums.
we might have. So we picked up. Yeah. So this was last week, last week or 2 weeks ago. One day we was raining and we were cleaning storm drains. Excuse me. Gosh dang, that hit me hard. I picked up a Magnum box in that same genital area down there around Casey's. It was like second.
So some cat's really slinging it out of the trailer park.
Some guy
across.
must be throwing pork somewhere down around there about the old big ditch region down there somewhere. That 2nd Avenue Walnut area. There must be King Ding-a-ling somewhere down there, boy. I'm talking gargantuan.
Yeah, I just thought, what a hell of a combo. You know, I don't know.
Red Bull and Magnum rubbers. I mean,
Good for him for practicing safe sex.
Yeah, safe sex is great. You know, you got to. That's exactly right.
Yeah, you don't want to get something you can't get rid of.
That's right.
Well, no,
kid.
Kid. Yeah. Yeah, we know that. What about? I'm just thinking the Red Bull there. You think he's timing those out? Like what? I mean, how?
What if he's got a little concoction?
Yeah, like what if he's chugging both
Just
of those,
mainlining it right into the
Yeah.
side of his.
bonging them? Like he's just taking those Red Bulls and shotgunning them, and then old girl's like ready to go.
I think it's
Like
probably,
how this all
I think
shakes
it's probably
out.
a situation he takes. Maybe he takes a couple like performance enhancers
Maybe those were for
with
her.
the Red Bulls. Oh, you think the Red Bulls are for her?
Or the rubbers.
Should have been
Yeah.
2024.
Yeah, that's true. You
Oh,
can't
boy.
exclude any of that.
Rum.
So that was my Monday.
That's wild. Trojans, Magnums are not for me. I don't know about you guys, but that'd be like me in a. I don't even know what it would be like.
Shoot.
Huh. Be like a toothpick in a sleeping bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, the am I going to do with all this spare room in here? You know, god dang, I could do a backflip. In this
It's
You got a
Ruby.
place to put your wallet and keys since you ain't got your britches on.
You always want to make sure you got
Unreal.
that stuff.
Speaking of rubbers, we were talking about this the other day. My buddy was on the phone with me, and he was talking about we were going somewhere or something, and he's like going to CVS or some shit, and I was like, yeah, and he's like, don't forget the rubbers or something like that. Well, Max was in the car, and the phone was through the car, and he hung up, and as we were traveling up through there, and he's like, Dad, what's rubbers? And I thought, oh, shit, here we go. My son's, 10 years old, mind you. He's getting ready to turn 11. And, that prompted me, we were talking about this today at work. At what age do you think you figured it out? You know what I mean? I think by the time I was 10 or 11, we had a big old nudie mag stash across the creek it's all gone now, but where Blesh Implement used to keep all their farm equipment and stuff like that, we had like a little fort because my buddy lived across the road there, and we had this little, this porn stash. I mean, it's not like we were, going down there together and jacking or none weird shit like that, but we just. Look at the
circle sesh.
Look at the rack on this broad here, kind of deal. But no, that's not. Shut up, couch guy. But we, I don't know. I was just thinking about that. I told him, I said, Max, do you know what sex is? Yeah. You know what I mean? As awkward as you could imagine it being. Have you had to talk with your kids at all?
Brief, like Wyatt more than the other ones. I
Right.
don't think West. No.
Wild Bill, you tell
Wild Bill. Yeah, he's figured it out.
Yeah. But I guess that's how do you approach that type thing? Because Max just, even if, if a girl comes on TV with a bikini or something, or we were watching a women's basketball game the other day and a girl bent over and, had a little ass, and I was like, oh, college girl butt, and he's like, Dad, shut up. You know what I mean? I'm like, what? What do you mean? He goes, what are you talking about her butt for? And I'm like, Max, one of these days you're going to realize that butts and boobs, are multi-purpose tools that women have. You know what I mean? They're there for.
That's how they rule the world.
Yeah, attracting men. That's the nature of the beast there. And whatever.
I'll tell you
I'm
when
going to go play Fortnite. You know what I mean?
I'll
whatever.
tell you when it happens. At that age, so kids that are 6th graders are about 12, 7th graders are about 13, 8th graders 14, 15 roughly, in those time frames. When we used to, now the rack that's been built that we use for practice, we're not in the field house as much.
Oh, really?
Thank you to the taxpayers of Southwest Dubois County.
So you guys get to go in the rack.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's weird. Okay.
Why is that weird?
Well, it's just gold for everybody else. I just kind of wondering how that all worked out.
I know a guy. But anyways, the high school cheerleading team would walk down from their practice, and you could just stand back along the wall and watch, and you could tell the age of the kid by their reaction. 8th grade boys, oh my gosh. Eyes popping, jaws grinding. Yeah. It's like, hey, fellas, get locked in here. The 7th grade guys, just complete oblivious to it. And I think that's about the time frame when you probably turn. Now there's always some exceptions to the general rule, but I would venture to guess that in that time frame there, between 13, 14, 15, you start to probably be more noticeable of the opposite sex.
Well, but there it was a blatant and grim reminder that we're still doing something right, because he had no idea what rubbers were, and I'm like, well, it's if you were gonna use your wiener to do something, your penis, if you were going to use your cock, you need to put this a rubber is something that you would put on it, to protect you.
Oh, like a raincoat, Dad?
Yeah, whatever, there, an old Jimmy cap. And I said, and he's like, oh, what? You shut up, whatever. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I thought they were like tampon or something. And I'm like, well, No, they're not.
You're about to find out that other problem.
I'll
someday
tell
too,
you.
pal.
I'll tell you about that some other time. But it was like, it wasn't like awkward, but like it was awkward as shit at the same time. And it's like
If your lead-in was wiener,
I don't
to a
remember what
10-year-old
the f- you supposed to call it. Your tallywhacker, your Johnson, your pickle. I mean, good grief. I mean, what do you? I mean, okay, there's one. What do you call? What do you refer to your kids? This may not be appropriate.
Probably
at all.
not need to tread
we
into
could
these
be
waters.
pedophile here, but like, what do you like? They're wieners at our house. They're wieners.
we use anatomically correct names.
Penis?
Yes.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what we do.
we don't.
No. I can see where it comes. Yeah, I mean, that
Actually,
that makes 100%.
Weston texted Jenna the other day. Why just use the P word? She's like, what P word? And he spelled like P asterisk N-I-S. So she comes.
Penis?
I was like, penis isn't a bad word. He's like, oh,
You said it.
he's like, you can't just run around saying penis.
But
Why?
like you say that, like Max's childhood innocence. There, I bet you could walk into any one of these surrounding elementary schools in that exact same grade, and I bet they could teach you a thing or two.
Well, I know. That's what I'm saying. They had said something about then that prompted like the whole Justine was like, well, do I need to say something to Evelyn about it? I'm like, I don't know. Probably not. I mean, not yet. I mean, we got them books. They got books for Christmas, I think is what I said.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah,
we?
we just took he's going to learn in school, and then field any questions past that's the path we took there.
Right.
That's how that rolls.
Well, and I was just they were talking
The
about
government can take care of everything else. I'm sure they'll do just a fine job.
they were talking about what one of us, I guess, a student, a fellow classmate of theirs, a pupil there that were talking about. Oh, they talk about sex all the time, and I think there's probably just that one.
Where do you stand on calling your kid a dickhead?
Oh yeah,
Jenna gets real upset when I call him a dickhead, I think, because I use the word dick. But I also tell them not to get their dick skinners close to that, because you'll hurt yourself.
mm-hmm.
I feel like that's,
No, I'm sure Max has been called a dickhead.
I feel like
Before.
it's just like a pass.
Quit being a dick. You know what I mean? Like, hey, quit being a dick.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say it to ours. I mean,
Yeah, you
we
got
would say
like
jerk.
Wyatt. Like Wyatt, I'll call Wyatt a dickhead. So like, hey, dickhead, how you doing?
Yeah,
And
right. Yeah, because he's
Great, Dad.
no. I call Max like dipshit a lot.
oh yeah,
a lot.
dipshit. I
Like,
use
hey,
dipshit. A lot.
dipshit. Like, what are you doing that for, dipshit? Or, what? Why do you keep calling me that? Like, hey, dumbass, or hey,
Parenting with the Dutch.
crotch rot. You know what I mean? I don't know something. Or you? I think Justine calls him a cretin every now and then. I don't know what that means. Like you freaking cretin or something. I don't know.
That's
It's probably better than
Outside-
dickhead, or definitely better than crotch rot.
outside of the presence of our children, I will sometimes when our kids are being rowdy, I'll tell Janelle, like, will you go in there and calm your dang crotch goblins down?
Crotch goblins.
And then she used it the other day. They were wrestling and fighting, and she goes, your crotch goblins are in there acting all wild. And I was like, hey, they come from my crotch. Like, this ain't mine. What age did you guys get the talk from your parents?
No, I don't think so.
I didn't either.
I remember some vague conversation, real
Well, I could imagine old
technical
man. I
about
could imagine
X's
old
and
man
Y's.
smoker.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it was like X and Y chromosomes and what makes a male and female, and just high level stuff there.
High level stuff. What age was that when we watched like the movie? Was that like 4th or 5th grade?
No, hell no.
3rd grade?
Middle school for sure.
No, we watched it at Maple Park. I can remember watching it in Maple Park. I think we were 5th grade.
Oh, we were
4th or 5th
it
grade.
was health class. It was like the same class that you
when did
sewed
we
in.
learn about you remember hey, Poppy, what should I do with my leaky wiener? You remember?
Jesus, what did
it
they
was
do
a-
down
the
here?
It was a wet
Middle
dream.
school.
It was a wet dream.
Oh, I
thing.
thought we were talking about the lady that came in middle school. She worked like STDs, and she'd come in and put the fear of everybody had gonorrhea back then. Yeah.
Sex
It was.
education in schools can be taught by a classroom teacher or school nurse, and it often begins in the 5th grade. So
Really? It was definitely middle school. Mrs. Crawford, the same lady that taught me how to sew and cook.
Taught you about the birds and bees.
Mm-hmm. Birds,
What a-
bees, sewing, and cooking.
What a
Cleaning.
homely lady.
yeah, I don't know. Like it was painful. They showed us pictures. Is that what you're talking about?
I remember, a movie.
that was. I remember seeing photographs of like shankered up dicks when we were.
Shankered.
Yeah, like a shanker on your wanker. What the hell? What do you get? The shanker.
No
Never heard
idea.
the terminology.
Oh,
We need to back out of these waters.
bullshit. No, the shanker on your wanker is syphilis,
Oh,
isn't it?
I don't know.
A shanker is a firm and painless, and it does ooze. Yikes. Syphilis bacteria. No, I don't think
That's a
that's
wo-
what I'm talking about.
That's
Shanker,
a word you don't want to use very often.
Shanker
It
is
oozes.
a also it can be used as a golf term. You don't want to shank it there.
Yeah, that's true. We're getting close to golf season.
Oh
Hell yeah.
God, I've been itching to fish. I've been itching to get outside and do stuff.
Yeah, but you're about to be laid up.
I
with the foot.
know.
well, you got a
Hey.
wheelchair.
Yeah.
By the way, some big news in Holland.
What's that?
The local convenience store has
Oh,
the big,
liquor license sign?
big orange sign out there.
Yeah, it'll just be hot beer. They can't sell cold or liquor or nothing. It'll just be hot beer and White Claw. Just like
Wine. Maybe
Beer.
a Mad Dog.
Just like Casey's. Just like any other.
So what's wrong with that?
Nothing.
I mean, not that anything against our. I mean, there's.
I'm going to go to
competition.
Bob's. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
going
there's
to buy a
competition
beer
in
at
town at Bob's.
I'm gonna buy
Yeah,
a
I'm
beer.
not going to go buy a warm beer.
No.
I'd have to be awful hard up for a warm
when I
beer.
could buy a cold beer.
Mhm.
Just up-
Why can't they? Well, you can't buy cold.
You
well,
can't
can
sell
buy-
cold beer
Not
in
in
gas
Indiana.
stations in Indiana. There's a law against that there. Yeah, you could. Yeah,
I was gonna say there's some exceptions to that.
yeah. I think you could buy like a cold White Claw at a.
I think you could get maybe some cold Pinot Grigio.
You a big Pinot Gris guy?
You're a
No, I
Pinot.
don't really like wine.
You're a Pinot guy.
I think he is.
I like
Couch guy is.
Moscato.
Never had it.
Sugar water. It's real sweet.
The only wine I ever really liked was apple wine. Jenna got a bunch for her wedding.
Ooh.
And shortly after we moved in here at this house, I ran out of beer and found 2 bottles
Oh,
of that apple
goddamn.
wine from 2008.
You know what? There
and
ain't.
I downed them both, and I thought I was going to have a heart. I've never had
There
like
is
a
nothing-
sugary drunk.
There is
before.
nothing worse than an old wine drunk, boys. I'm telling you, that is a headache from hell.
That's homemade wine, especially around these parts. Generally, the people that boast about their stuff don't make very good stuff. They let the wine do the talking. But I love a good.
Panty dropper.
What'd you do with that big ass straw?
I took it out. I was afraid I was going to poke myself in the eye with
Shove it up his nose.
Okay, so Shirley told me, a buddy of mine, Josh, told me
Shout out
about
Green
a
Energy.
news story that's been popping up on his TikTok lately.
Okay.
And it's old. It's an old news story, but I don't think we've ever talked about it, and it's absolutely hilarious. May 19th of 2021, 31 kilos of cocaine washed up ashore in the Gulf Shores in Alabama. Over the last several days, this is obviously in past tense.
3 years and several days.
Yeah, according to the chief of police, they were alerted of washed up drugs by beachgoers on Monday night and then again on Tuesday. Well, the whole moral of the story is these guys found 31 kilos of cocaine in an overnight span. Like they found some in the evening, and then they went back the next morning and found a shit ton more. And it says here that it was roughly street valued between $1 and $1.2 million.
Did you call the cops to tell them?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's the whole moral of this story. It's like, holy effing cow. Like, you've got 31 kilos of pure Colombian Bam Bam, and it just washes up to shore right in your lap. Like, yeah, I'm going to the cops with about 25 of it. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna.
Here's the problem.
Huh?
Here's the problem you got.
What do
though.
you mean? No, you're gonna get popped with 30 kilos of coke. You're gonna go to jail for a long time, pal. You
go to jail for 5 kilos.
Well, I bet you're less apt to go to the big.
I think you find somebody
I don't think
local
it
looks
matters.
sketchy, and you just unload all of it for one low price.
At a reduced price
Of
because
what?
that's the problem. The problem.
I have no idea what coke. I'd have to do some googling.
Well, according to this, 31 kilos is worth one to $1.2 million.
So you take it all, you find somebody, and sell it for like $250,000.
Yeah, but where are you going to find a random swinging dick down in Gulf
Oh,
stores?
it wouldn't be that hard.
Really?
Yes.
You got contacts in your phone?
Gulf Shores?
You don't think?
Oh, David
you
Allen
don't think
Smoker.
you could
What are you
find-
going to do? Put it on Facebook?
You don't
Hey,
think
guys,
you can find a local street drug dealer?
I'm not here. What do you mean?
You can buy drugs anywhere in this country.
You're telling me if we're in St. George Island, that big shithole down in Florida,
I can think of 3 people right
I'm
now.
going straight to old gal that works at the Piggly Wiggly
that
and
has the
asking
blue
her.
hair.
I'm asking her
Exactly.
who wants 31 kilos of cocaine, and I bet
Cocaine.
she's got an idea
well,
where
yeah.
to go.
And then the next thing you know, here comes 4 SUVs full of fully armed human beings. It's going to hold your whole family up. Take that coke, and you ain't getting shit.
Yeah, but you walk in, you ease into the conversation. The problem you got of taking
no
any
way.
of this is
Ain't
if you
no
don't,
way.
if you don't have the people to fence it off to right away,
Yeah.
that's your problem.
You definitely
Yeah.
got to hide it.
Yeah.
You don't just carry it until you find somebody. You hide it.
And then you might as well just take it out, Dave, put it in little packages, and then just sell it for cash, $20 here or there.
Oh gosh, I just that was the whole premise of the story is that they turned it all in. Which I mean in reality, yes, I would probably without a doubt I'm going to turn it in.
Well, because
Oh, me too.
you don't.
Huh?
Me too.
Oh yeah.
Well, because you don't know who was keeping track of
And
what
if
was.
It could be
and
staged.
That's or if it's cut with fentanyl, I don't want a bunch of dead people on my hand. You know what I mean? That's another spooky thing. In response to the recovered drugs, the Gulf Shore Police Department has increased patrol security near the beaches where the packages were found. The department also notified its neighbors, including all the Baldwin County sheriffs and Orange County police.
But the reality of that is either a boat or the submarine they were using it to ferry to cross sunk.
That was it. That was what had happened. In further review, is that there was a bunch of dudes from like
I guess that'd be the
Puerto
problem
Rico
is
that
you're
were
trying to
coming.
get rid of it. Somebody's looking for it at the same
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
That'd be,
And you happen to be
It's
out
not
there.
the cops.
You happen to be out there picking one up, and the guy sees you get in your vehicle.
31 keys of coke here.
yeah.
Anybody
Hey!
need exactly 31?
Oh, and this is the this is the best one. The photo. It was a photo of one of the bricks, and it says 99.9%.
Now, if I saw that, that's
On the
definitely the
package.
cops.
on the package is what it had there. 70. See that here's another. This is the same one, but it said 77 pounds, which
Well, because we don't deal with kilos
I'm
very
assuming that. Well, cocaine you do.
well. Well, I'm saying for us on normal weight.
Yeah.
You know.
They said it was that one of the bricks had a mugshot of Carlo or Pablo Escobar on the front of it.
Well,
So
Bam Bam Bam. And well, think about that. You buy a 5-pound bag of sugar. Now multiply that by 13, 14. That's 70 or no 20.
3.
Huh?
It's only 17 pounds.
77.
Oh, I thought you said 17 pounds.
77 pounds.
77.
Oh,
1 kilogram is equal to 2.2046 pounds.
Yeah. So, I was scrolling through the depths of Twitter the other day, and I don't know who it was or where it was, but it was one of those accounts that somehow pops up in your algorithm, and why I don't know, but it was a drug dealer that lost like $1.2 million worth of drugs. And they had tied an anchor around him, and they were getting ready to drop him into the sea.
Oh,
As in, you lose our product, you lose
you're
your
going to
life.
swim with the fishes.
Yeah, that would be about it. So
No, I'm
That's-
out on that.
that's a tough spot. Like the drug cartel game,
Yeah.
probably a good idea.
Yeah.
seems like if you had somebody and like once you had them tied to the anchor and you take them out there, you've got that person pretty well indentured for life. Like you don't throw them in. You get them thinking you're throwing them in. Maybe you dip them in, but then you let them live at the end, and then like they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, but it's not him that's the problem. It's the rest of the people in the organization that think they can do that to you. That's you're sending the message there. You're right. Old boy is. You could get old boy to commit murder for you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you probably could anyways if he's part of the cartel. But
According to this Xenia Health page, a kilo of cocaine in today's market's roughly $69,000 for a kilo.
because you
Right around
So 1.8 million.
right around 70 grand for one key.
so do you do? But you sell
No,
that
I don't do it. No.
in 8 ounces, right? That's your 8-ball, your classic.
Why are you looking at Couch Guy? Couch Guy doesn't have a clue. He doesn't do cocaine.
Well, because it's diabetes.
Yeah, that would kill
That's
him.
why. The
There's
diabetes.
no one in this room that could handle the cocaine. We'd all be like dead.
Kickers just aren't built.
Chris Farley and laying around on the floor here. It's
Gotcha.
It's just a ball.
That's the little packages. That's the little that you see. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough spot being a drug dealer nowadays, especially that they've legalized a lot of it. But it's a tough spot. It's a tough way to make a living.
Yeah,
And the big thing of it is the government probably doesn't care that you're peddling drugs. The government cares that you haven't paid your taxes, Couch Guy.
Yeah.
Not you saying you as the drug dealer, but in general. Yeah. Mr. IRS,
Yeah.
man.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough spot.
Yeah,
IRS.
yeah, I know. It's tax season.
It is the tax man.
It's coming.
The
up.
good news is our fine folks in Washington, D.C. could stay up late to pass a bill to fund Ukraine, and some other
Billions.
borders
I've seen that.
that aren't ours, which is always great.
Somebody was that you said something the other day that Mitch or
Yeah. It was like 7 people they sent.
is that
The
it?
tweet wasn't as. Who was telling me that?
Factual.
Oh, fella, come over and butcher with us. But yeah, he's like, yeah, they sent like 7 or 17. It's factual. It happened, but it was like they loaded up.
Why
a
can't I
minivan.
think of our governor's name?
Holcomb?
Yeah, he sent members of the National Guard from Indiana to the
Yeah,
To the border.
southern border.
yeah.
I
Like
saw-
as many that would fit in a Prius. And
They just went down there for a cup of coffee or something.
I saw in Massachusetts, they're asking residents to take these people into your home.
Oh no.
And then
isn't that the whole point of which amendment's that?
the third.
Okay.
Everybody forgets the third, the Quartering Act.
Yeah.
You're checking it. He's checking it right now.
Me?
Oh, I thought he was. He's going straight to his Googler machine. But one lady was like, "Oh, I'm so excited. Now I got like my own personal chef." And it's like, wait a minute. Like, you're going to put these people to work
Yeah.
in your home?
That's sketchy.
Where do we start drawing the line here? So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
No soldier shall in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in the time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law.
Well, because back in the day, they would just knock on your door. Hey, you're going to have 10 soldiers live with you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Nothing you can do about it. But I got some other big news for you guys.
Okay.
This past weekend, I fell asleep like 9 o'clock on Saturday,
Oh, sweet.
and I had a dream.
Nice.
Oh, really?
What was it about?
The Amazing Race. Janelle and I were in the Amazing Race. Because I've been watching the Amazing
Good
Race.
Lord.
I've been watching the Amazing Race a lot because I wanted to watch from I'm on season 9 now, by the way.
Okay.
Season 8 I'm on season 10. Season 8 was the family edition. It's pretty tough to watch, but I thought about skipping it, but I was like, I can't do that. So in my dream, Janelle and I are in the race and we're racing. And her and I had just had that conversation. I was like, I don't think that I would care to win the $1 million because the experience of it. But if I could make it into the final 3 and just have that shot, that would be awesome. And so that was we actually finished 3rd in the race. And I was like, because they always do that, like, oh, what do you think about? And it it was a great moment because it was the red mat because I can clearly recall running through the finish line because all the other people that had been eliminated were cheering you on. And we were kind of like the fan favorites. Everybody liked us because we got along with everybody. And then we stepped on the mat and the host.
It would be a carpet, right?
Yeah. He said, Casey and Janelle, you guys are team number 3. And then, they're cheering and I woke up.
Nice.
And I was like, I sat there for a minute. I kind of got up.
Was there
and I was
anybody
like,
naked or
No.
nothing like that? Huh?
nothing. And I was like,
Weird.
oh, I just had a dream. I can't wait to tell the fellas.
I'll be damned.
Now,
Oh, yeah.
I had to go to bed Saturday at 9 for that to happen. But I don't know if that just meant I gave myself time to get deeper in the sleep or what.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, let's get into it, though. 3 big things from our friend Bradley Ohanian. Brado's a big part of this show.
Yeah.
Sends these in. I think he even apologized for sending these in late.
Yeah.
Brado, it's never too late, pal. Never too late. First one, thieves steal a 200-foot radio tower in Alabama. Small town radio station in Alabama was knocked off the air after thieves managed to steal the station's transmitter and 200-foot radio tower.
Must have heard there's 31 keys of coke hidden up there.
So Brado's question, so once you steal it, then what do you do with it?
Well, the only thing I can figure they're doing with it is building a ham radio station at home, getting ready to trying to listen to what's going on with other governments.
Squirrel brains, Guantanamo Bay Cuba. You know what that
Cuba.
means? There are people in this world that saturate the CB airwaves with big ass base station radios, and they I could not believe. I bet the dust to dawn lights probably dim when they key their mic. They're pushing so much shit.
Mm-hmm.
And this dude, like we called it skip land. Like we would always run on channels we would run on channel 40 or channel 2 or channel 7 or channel 9 or whatever. Not 9. That
Nine's
was
the emergency
Nine's
band.
was emergency band. But yeah, we would always run on. We have 40 channels, like unit in one,
Yeah.
whatever. So we would always run on 25 or channel 2 was the big channel that we'd always run on at the mine, and they would bleed over, like you could hear them from another channel bleeding over on your radio, and then you would click to that channel to find them. And they would be coming out of, like this guy, his handle was Squirrel Brains, and he would come out of Cuba, and it was just like some dude listening in Cuba that had a base station that would just literally blow your doors off. Like you couldn't talk to him.
Yeah, he would never hear it.
He would never hear me, but my God, you could hear him. And like it would get so bad to where like they would walk on us when we were in the same pit with these big CBs, like these big powerful base stations, so much so that sometimes if the skip was so bad on that channel, we'd have to pick another channel to run on because you couldn't squelch them out. Like you'd have your squelch so tight you couldn't hear it, anybody right next to you. But I don't know.
I think they're scrappers.
Yeah. Cutting it.
200-foot metal tower you cut piece by piece.
Yeah. A lot of times, though, you got to show proof of origin.
No, not if you cut it up small enough. But even a 200-foot tower, I mean, daggone scrap metal's not much. The amount of effort it'd take to do that, I feel like it'd be maybe 3 cases of beer.
They were in Jasper.
Dave, they ain't
Alabama.
doing that much math.
These guys were down in Jasper, Alabama,
Yeah.
6 days ago. I mean, not much to
I
do
don't know
down.
where you hide that.
Not much to do in February in Jasper, Alabama. I imagine. I don't know.
Probably
Well,
not.
maybe they're wanting to build a new roadside rocket.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, where's Jasper, Alabama?
Well,
don't
it's
know.
down a little further, but
yeah.
Is it down by Old Mobile?
our
Our buddy Andy McHugh.
It might be. I feel like it's by one of the M's,
Hmm.
Mobile or Montgomery.
The Golden Bachelorette spinoff is coming. A 72-year-old grandfather
Yuck.
got a second shot at love on The Golden Bachelor A female-fronted spinoff is now in the works.
Oh, cougar.
Brado. I mean, I'm all for finding happiness, but people will really watch this. I think the ratings for The Golden Bachelor were pretty good. Like, I think that guy...
Wasn't that feller from Indiana?
That's what I was going to say. I think he had some local ties. I think old boy was a Hoosier. And if I could look that good at 70, I mean, who am I to...
I don't think it's about how you look. I think it's more about your pocketbook.
Ooh, looky
I
there.
don't think it's...
You putting some rhymes together. So we're all out on the Golden Bachelorette?
Yeah, I'm not going to watch it.
Depends on her pocketbook.
I think there's probably going to be a lot of fake anatomy.
Say, what if she's a big old leatherback blue hair with some freaking
Smoking them, oh, shoot.
Misty Slims or Virginia Slim 120s.
Hey, bring me another glass of wine. Come in here.
Rub my bug.
Draw my bath.
You want a sip of this bath water? Retailers are working to meet Valentine's Day demand. Cocoa prices are soaring. Will it affect your Valentine's Day chocolate?
Man, we didn't even talk about Valentine's Day.
Well, we can get to it.
Yeah.
Well, this kind of leads into it. All right. What's the Dutchman's go-to for Valentine's Day?
Cheesecake.
Gift cards.
Cheesecake. This year I did cheesecake, Lindor truffles, and 3 roses. But that was for all the girls in the house. I supply Valentine flower for each girl. First year for that. Usually I do a big old bouquet of lilies, but my flower guy, or my flower gal, she said, don't waste your time. They look like shit.
Oh.
I said, okay, well, I appreciate that. So
Appreciate the honesty.
I just went and got some cheesecakes and
Where'd you get cheesecake from?
the cheesecake place. And then I got
Where's the cheesecake place?
each girl got a flower, and then I got Justine a card and some chocolate this for herself.
What about you, big fella?
Gift card. Jenna went and had herself a massage and got her nails done and the whole thing all day. And then,
Oh, spa day.
yeah, and then but I had to give her something, so I got her gift card for one of her places she likes to frequent.
I'm really glad I got self-control. Go ahead. What you do, big guy?
Pack of chocolates, like a bag. I think they were small Carmelos. You know, Carmel, like
Yes.
the chocolate with the caramel.
Caramel.
So a bag of the Carmelos and a 8-pack of High Nooners and a card. Not a big flower girl because they die. She'll tell me that all the time. I'll do flowers on occasion for certain things, but this year I just went High Nooners, chocolates and flowers, or chocolate and a card. But I also then got Zoe and Ryan cards with a little. You could buy the little heart chocolate boxes that have like 2 or 3 pieces in there.
Right.
So that's what I got them.
That's nice.
Yeah. Do you do anything for your kid? Nope.
Hell no.
Okay.
They
I
get
didn't-
all sorts of shit from school.
I know. My gosh, my girls,
Might as well be Halloween.
my girls got little Valentines at school, man. One girl got it hand delivered. Friend of the show brought his boy over and hand delivered old Ellie Bug a couple bags of Skittles and a nice little stuffed teddy bear and a card and everything else there. And then the older daughter, she got like a pair of slippers and all kinds of shit. I thought,
What
yeah,
a turn
like
to Christmas
yeah, it was like a Valentine's Day heart slippers, and I thought, good God,
from a young
from a friend, from a fellow boy classmate of there. Yeah, cross
So
country.
it sounds like the Masoner girls are being courted.
old hairy legs. I'll tell you what, they better steer clear, buddy. I'll tell you that.
You know, the day when those girls start dating down there in that household, God help them boys. They're in for a hell of a show.
That's a shame, you damn skipper. My daughter.
Dad, will you at least put pants on?
That my kids are gonna murder me. No, I got a package from the Amazon dude the other day in my undies, and it just seems like you are a Neanderthal. Like, God, this is so embarrassing. I'm glad these people don't have any idea who we are.
Hey, I think the Duluths are probably pretty classy.
Well,
though.
yeah.
I mean, not just anybody's rocking.
That's a
Duluths
status.
everywhere.
It's a status thing.
Yeah.
And with that, we're heading for the pause. We'll be right back. Pause for the Cause is sponsored by our friends at Dubois County Tire and Supply. Do you need tires or winter maintenance done on your vehicle? Dubois County Tire and Supply does more than just tires and is there for all your needs. They do oil changes along with checking batteries and coolant protection levels for these winter temperatures. They also do free pickup in Jasper city limits. Have a roadside situation with a tire on your vehicle? They do roadside services for those emergencies. With springtime approaching, check out their selection of lawn and garden tires for all your mowers, ATVs, and other outdoor equipment. Farmers, be sure to check the tires on your equipment before planting season so you are prepared for planting this year. And Dubois County Tire and Supply has great deals on Mastercraft tires going on right now. With stores located in Jasper, Washington, Vincennes, Bloomington, and Salem, they have you covered. Big or small, Dubois County Tire and Supply services it all. We're back. We're back.
Hey, David, welcome back.
Hi, David Allen Smoker.
Thanks
Hello.
to our friends at Dubois County Tire.
Going to see him tomorrow.
Hell yeah. Which one? Which
Well,
car?
the old white pickup truck.
Oh,
friend,
yeah. Your
friend of the program and neighbor, Hornet,
Yep.
said, I had some issues, and he said, I think you got a wheel bearing going out. So Papa Frank and I turned into a mechanic. I replaced the old left front wheel bearing. Fixed the problem a little bit, but didn't fix it all the bit.
Hey, now, before you drove it, did you have anybody with actually an expert eye take a look at it? Kind of like I asked David about his motorcycle.
Dave's fine.
Dave's still here. So then I was just like, these two front tires, they've kind of scurved on the inside a little bit, so probably out of alignment pretty good. So I'm hoping that'll fix it. So I got to replace the two fronts. The rears are still okay a little bit. Replace the two front tires, get it aligned up. But my buddy Zeth,
Gonna put the news on the front, or you're gonna put the news on the back, put the rears on the front?
news on the front.
Really? Figured you'd want those on the grippy drive tires. I mean,
I don't know. What would you do?
put them on the back and put the backs on the front.
It's okay, though. You do what you do.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
You let them fine folks over Dubois.
Yeah, they'll let you
Tire.
know.
They'll
Yeah,
let you
yeah,
know
yeah.
what
They'll do what's.
They'll let you know what you
I don't
need
have
to
a
do.
professional eye.
No, you
oh, don't glare at them that much. So hey, big thank you to Dubois County Tire and Supply. Go
Yeah.
check them out. Go see them. Zeth and the gang, they're all over there. Zeth and I were actually on the PT tables side by side.
Yeah.
His was a shoulder, mine's a foot. And I was like, we're too damn young to both be sitting in here like this. Sure shit.
When I was first having the big foot pain, I went down there and talked to my buddy Teresa, and I was asking her about some things and this and that, and Zeth was down there too, and I was like, buddy, she'll give you a workover, I tell you that. I spent a lot of time with Teresa back in 2013. Lot of time.
Yeah.
And worked out.
Well, and I think because my foot issue is kind of resolving, and I was really happy for her to say, it's just work some of this soft tissue here, and hopefully it's healing up.
I.e., quit being a big bitch and
Okay.
get back after it.
Anyways, let's get back after hour 2 from our friends at Catering by Meyer.
Hour 2 of our program is proudly sponsored by Catering by Meyer. As we step into the new year of 2024, it's time to face a fresh set of events. Graduation parties, weddings, birthdays, family reunions, wedding anniversaries, and class reunions. The good news is you don't have to juggle the complexities of planning alone. Simplify your life by making just one call to Catering by Meyer. Let them take the reins on crafting a delectable menu that will leave your guests raving. Give Catering by Meyer a call today as they are booking up fast.
Hey, big thank you, Catering by Meyer. We appreciate them. Some of the OGs on the show, go ahead and support them.
Mm-hmm.
You've got an event coming up in 2024, Dave. Not like you personally, but there's
said
a
that he
lot of
did-
people have events coming up in
Said he did
2024.
400 hot wings
For the Super Bowl?
for around the Super Bowl.
Good grief.
We missed it. I missed it too. I would have scheduled a pickup had I thought about it sooner.
Why did we not host a Super Bowl party as the Wondering Dutchmen?
Because I was butchering hogs, and I wanted to sleep all day Sunday. Couldn't.
Yeah, and
I didn't watch. That was the first bit of a football game I've watched this season.
Well, but I'm saying like an exclusive Dave's not a sport guy.
That's okay. I mean, he'll watch baseball in the spring, summer.
Yeah, coming up.
Not the Cubs though. Just the
No.
Cardinals.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but anyway, yeah, Catering by Meyer is definitely your one-stop shop, and their hot wings are good.
All right, what you got, big fella?
Well,
What you wondering about?
speaking of hot wings,
What you wondering about?
we're gonna go to a story of a little dinner, a little casual dinner the warden and I had the other evening. So I had to go down to Evansville because I was over the weight limit at the medical facilities here in our local Dubois County area here. So I had to cart my morbidly obese fat ass down to Evansville to have a MRI done, a simple MRI
Good news, no diabetes at this table.
on my ankle there,
Over there on the
which
couch, yes.
I literally could have stood for this thing because it's literally my foot and not my ass that needed to go in this tube. So after the MRI was
You really think
complete,
you could have stood?
no, because it's 40 minutes.
Yeah.
It takes
a lot.
40 minutes?
Have you ever had an MRI?
No.
Oh, dude, you'd have hated it. It's terrible. I've had like 6. They suck. You got to put these big earphones on, and they play your whatever music you want.
What'd you listen to?
Classic rock's what I chose.
Oh, so they don't let you go to like, hey, pick your Pandora station.
No, yeah, it's YouTube music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's YouTube music.
I
They
asked
use
them to play Wheeler Walker as loud as they could. Over the speaker.
drop them out. Let me see them titties. But no, I picked classic rock. So the whole time you got these big
Metal.
non-metal earphones.
Don't you have
on.
metal in your knee, though?
Just a small bone anchor, so it didn't matter. But you have to divulge that information. Yeah, they ask you. Like I had to take my glasses off before I walked in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know
the
how
whole
them
time it's
folks-
sitting there, like it's loud as shit. And then they jam
You
music.
can't move, right?
No way, absolutely not. So they put my foot like in a vice.
I would move just from my nerves. Like
I did, and she said, like,
You need to stop moving, please. You need to keep your foot still, Mr. Zach, okay?
so I did. This is coming through the earphone.
We're going to have to redo that. You're moving too much.
so, how long would it take it if you didn't move?
Well, 40 about around. So it's set up in incremental studies. They call them. Some of them are like it's got a timer too, so it's even better. You get to sit there and literally watch the clock the entire time. But it's like 3 minutes 40 seconds, 4 minutes 20 seconds.
Yeah.
One of them was 5 minutes and 7 seconds.
Very
but they're
bizarre.
But they're in incremental, and then they do it like for me with this was an MRI with contrast.
So they had to pump you full of ink.
So they put an IV in halfway through and push that contrast, and then you go back in for. I mean, you don't leave the room. Like she just comes out, puts an IV in, pushes the drugs, and she goes back into the office, and then you continue on with your test.
I just don't know how healthy it is for them to be in that room all the time.
Well, I mean,
It's-
magnetic fields are a natural part. I mean,
It's just magnets. It's not radiation. X-rays are different than MRIs.
Well, I know that.
Right.
I understand that.
Yeah.
well, but I mean, it's all radiation of some sort. It's just different wavelengths and frequencies. That
Now the
affect
ladies that
human
do
body different.
the ladies that do the X-rays, they wear those.
lead vest.
They
Lead
actually,
vests.
when I got my foot x-rayed, they didn't have them on.
Well, maybe
She said there
because
was actually-
they tuck behind that corner there, though. Don't they? Or
they
go
were,
out of the room.
They were out there with me. She said that there was actually been studies done that throwing on the lead vest is actually worse for the. It was a weird
Well-
because I asked her about that. I was like, "Do I need a lead vest on?" She's like, "No, you're good." And I was like, "What about you guys?" And I could swear they didn't have them on. She goes with how much they've
Just,
improved
think
in the
about
rate.
how those X-rays are really doing you good when you got that thing in your mouth and you're doing X-rays at your jaw.
Yeah,
And that's right there in your face. But literally none of this that we're talking about has anything to do with my My topic.
Well, if
my
you get to
topic
it, Rain
says
Man.
restaurant pet peeve,
Really took the long way around on that.
and I found it the other
Coulda
day.
led
Was
with
it's one? It's one that I've dealt with, and it seems to happen to me all the time. And it happened to me again. And I, for some reason, this time I just jotted it down. Justine's like, "What the hell are you doing on your phone?" And I'm like, "I'm writing a note." She's like, "About what?" And I said, "About this pepper shaker."
That's not what I expected. This
And
to go.
she's like, "What's wrong with the pepper shaker?" And I said, "Look," and I turned it up. Nothing. Gave it a shake. Nothing. Try to shake the shit out of it. Maybe
Shake the sugar tree.
maybe one or two granulars came out. Granules.
Now, see, I'm a big.
You want to know why?
Because it was empty.
No,
It's clogged up,
it was not clogged.
all
up.
stoved up.
No, sir.
Too large a pepper flake.
Too full.
Just jammed.
Yes, too full. There's no room for it to move. That pisses me off. Now listen. Let me preface this by saying I appreciate. What is he? What's
Don't worry
is
about
he
it.
having a stroke?
No.
God. What I said is shut up. What I'm saying is
Diabetes is acting
we need to
up
get him
again.
a mic and just let him sit over there and
There's a mic right there.
chime in every now and then. But
There's two mics right there.
but what happens is I appreciate them filling the shakers, whether
Shake,
it's the
shake.
salt or the pepper.
Shake your
95% of the time, I don't ever mess with the salt. I don't.
Yeah, I'm a
'Cause
pepper guy.
I'm a pepper guy. I don't add salt to my food. Very, 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 very rarely.
I'll S&P a steak while it's sitting on the counter acclimating.
PNS, yeah,
Yeah, but I don't put it
yeah,
on post
no,
heat.
right. So, but the thing is like it just pisses me off when you try to go after it and it doesn't come out, and then like I'm thinking, well, god dang, there's some in there. You know what I mean? Like, what's the deal?
Why didn't you just take the lid off?
I did. I spun the lid off, and then guess what happens?
Too much.
Yes, the
Pepper
whole.
everywhere.
I don't even tip it. Like just the act of it's so full that it has somehow this person has figured out a way to fill this salt shaker more full than the actual lid that it's supposed to
do you
shake out
think
of.
it was an employee or just some shithead kid?
It's some shit.
No,
kid.
it was not a some shit. What's this, some shithead kid just packing around a bag of pepper to fill up these shakers?
Just
to
grabs
piss
them off
guys
of
like-
2 or 3 tables and put them together, just like you unscrew the salt lid and just leave it just barely on there.
Yeah.
Somebody goes to shake it.
We always did the penny trick.
Oh, where you lock somebody in their room they can't get
No,
out.
you spin the penny and then you take your salt
Oh.
shaker and jam it down on top of there. So then whenever they lift it up, it all comes volcanoing out. But no, I know it's where it's kind of a, I don't know, just restaurant pet peeves. And it's nothing against the wait staff. It's nothing against the chef, the food prep, the line, the hostess, any of the bar staff. It doesn't have anything to do with those people. It's just me being a crotchety old bastard.
Were you at the Golden Corral for this?
No, we were at
Chris Ward
Barrel?
won't go to the Golden Corral.
no.
Oh, that's right.
Roadhouse.
We were at actually a decent restaurant close to the
Red Lobster.
close to Sam's there. No, it was at Drake's. I didn't really want to. I didn't really want to dime drop there, but I guess I can. But
Why?
Yeah, I
I've
don't
never
know.
even heard of Drake's.
what?
Never
It's
heard.
over there on Burkhardt, isn't it?
Yeah, it's over there by Sam's.
It's kind of like a
Academy. It's a literally anything you want it to be.
American bistro kind of place.
Their menu used to be like a book, and they have really trimmed her down. Like
COVID.
they've got sushi, they've got steak, they've got wings, they've got some burgers. I ended up getting a burger, and it was pretty good. Crinkle fries, classic crinkle fries, which I peppered, but I had to take the lid off to get the.
You know,
effing pepper.
I think my favorite kind of fries are waffle fries
Oh,
if I'm
yeah.
somewhere, and I eat them with ranch, but I won't eat ranch with any other fries.
Really,
Waffle fries, serve me
There's
up some
enough
ranch.
potato there in the waffle fry.
Maybe that's what it is.
I do like a good waffle fry. Who had waffle fries?
American
Chick-fil-A.
Legion up in Brazil had a good waffle fry.
Yeah, our American Legion was down on Valentine's Day.
Was they?
Some
And
kitchen
the fryer's
issues.
still down today.
Uh-oh.
Or it was lunchtime hour.
That ain't good.
Did you go to Legion for lunch?
No, on the Facebook. They
On the
post-
old Facebook.
Yeah.
So, Dave, what's a restaurant pet peeve for you, pal?
I really don't like having to ask for napkins. I feel like I use a lot of
Oh,
napkins,
yeah.
especially with kids, and I probably overuse because I don't like having to search for a.
Yeah.
Clean
spot, clean corner.
So that's probably it. Like if I've got to stop somebody for napkins, I'm like, okay, now I'm already, yep, fat guy here, can't eat, without getting it all over.
How about you use
some
your shirt
napkins?
there, Bubba?
Yeah. So that's probably it. Not just not having a bountiful amount of.
Justine bitched. No, she didn't. She didn't bitch.
She raised a concern.
No, she was just saying like when they automatically assume that you want lemon in your water.
I feel like most people ask. I don't know that I've ever just been.
I ask every time.
Water with lemon.
I'll take water with lemon, and then
No, I will drink water with no. If they ask, I tell them I don't want lemon. But if they bring it with lemon, I squeeze it in there.
Well, that's friendly of you.
But anyway, I don't know. Yeah, what you got one? You got anything you bitch about?
Not a. It's an inconvenience.
Which would be a pet peeve, right?
Yeah.
More
Having
so
to park.
There's a local establishment.
having to park your own car.
There's a local establishment.
Esquire.
Oh, God.
Shall remain nameless, but it's in French Lake and it's a wings place. They don't put knives in with their silverware packet. It's just a fork. And I always.
Why waste their time with a packet then?
Well, that's an excellent question. It seems there's an issue with them throwing out forks and knives at an alarming rate. So instead of giving everybody a knife, they just give everybody a fork, and then that way they don't have to buy both utensils. They just have to buy one.
Are these plastic forks?
No, they're metal. So you have to ask for a knife every time.
What do you need?
So
a knife?
my
And
go-to
a
at
wing joint?
lunch is I'll get boneless.
Oh, and then you cut them up.
And I cut them up, get a little bit more. It calms my.
It turns your 10 into 20 pretty
Yes.
quick, you know.
Yes.
I just normally do the old side of the fork,
Yeah,
Okay.
like
You'll-
us common folk. Casey's got to wade through 6 different forks before he gets out there to that knife. See,
Yeah.
that's what he's talking
Well,
about.
I got my other fork. So that's a little pet
That's
peeve.
my salad fork.
That's
Quit
a-
touching it.
That's a little pet peeve of mine. But I also, too, when I would drink unsweet iced tea out, because I'd put a packet of the pink stuff in,
Right.
and I'd say, "Hey, you got any sweet and low?"
big
And they'd
fan
be
of the
like,
pink stuff.
"Oh, you mean the one in the yellow?"
Ditto.
Attaboy, Dave. Attaboy.
Yeah.
And they'd bring you the wrong kind. I'm like, "No, I need the stuff in the pink packet."
Oh,
And they're like,
no.
"Yeah,
What if it was Splenda?
No, wouldn't use it.
Really?
It's a different taste to me.
Look at this guy, diabetic back here chiming in. Yeah, so I'm thinking everybody has their own pet peeves when it comes to restaurants.
I
And
think
it's
that's why they're pet peeves.
Yeah.
Not like faux pas.
faux pas.
Well, wouldn't
mean,
a
it's-
faux pas be a pet peeve too?
I know what a faux pas is.
I believe a faux pas is bothersome to the general population. That's what makes it a faux pas, because it's known you shouldn't do that. A pet peeve is particular more to your personal preference.
Gotcha.
Is how I would.
I have never heard of a faux pas.
Yeah, well,
She made a fashion faux pas.
it's like a no.
Yeah.
Oh,
like farting in church.
FOPAUX.
Yeah.
Wild.
It is. It is.
A faux pas mistake. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about?
Neat.
Are you done?
Yep. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Moving on here. What you got?
The most dangerous words in a woman's vernacular.
Vernacular.
I'm fine.
Bingo.
Yep.
So I was walking out from work. This was today.
Do whatever you want.
I was walking out from work today,
I don't care.
and I happened to stumble upon a dispute amongst a couple, which was
domestic.
very
Nothing
awkward.
better than a classic domestic.
They let me pass in front of them. Then they proceeded to walk right behind me where I could smell the old man's cologne. not the old man, but he wasn't old. He was young. They were younger.
Yeah.
And I just finally I heard her just say, "I'm fine. I'm fine. It's all fine." Is that what you want to hear? He's like, no, that's not what I want to hear. Well, that's what I'm telling you. It's all fine. Do whatever you want, and I'll just keep my mouth shut.
See, there it is.
And I was like, that motherfucker's in trouble.
yeah, I'm fine. Do whatever you want.
Yeah. So that got me thinking, and I was like, man, I love my wife. I love her to death. But sometimes there's these phrases that she'll use or these words that she'll use, and I'm like, this is just trap city.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've hit on
Trap
some
City,
big
bitch.
ones there.
Trap cities, bitch.
We've hit on some of the big ones there with I'm fine, everything's okay, I don't care.
Start the clock.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Oh, whatever.
That's
is
a good one.
Your children, something about like including your children. Your children miss you. Like that's one that cuts deep. I usually hear that one about mid-May. Oh, your children haven't seen you. And I'm like, well, I did see them because I saw them in the morning and everything was okay, but it seems more about you than it is anything else. So I don't know. I just, when you get in the middle of a domestic and you run into those conversations and every guy listening to this right now just ran through that list that we did because it's probably pretty universal. And everybody feels for the guy that's going through it, that's hearing those words.
It's a tough spot.
Pick wherever you want.
But you know what?
Hey, honey, where do you want to eat? I don't care. You pick wherever
Everybody's
you
got to
want.
pay their dues. You know what I mean? Pay the piper.
Yeah, that's totally true.
What's you Googling over there?
Yeah, like
You're back to Googling pretty hard. You didn't take John Radich's.
I don't care what he says.
Okay.
I like to be factually correct. Yeah, 5 deadly terms used by a woman. Number 1 is fine.
And why did fine get such a bad rap? Did women ruin it?
It's hard to say.
This is the word women use to end an argument when she knows she's
Don't even read it.
that she
Stop.
knows she is right and you need to shut up. Number 2, nothing, which means something, and you need to be warned.
But you should have already known.
3, go ahead.
Oh, that is a big one.
This is a dare, not permission. Don't do it. Number 4, whatever.
Yeah.
A woman's way of saying you.
Yeah, that is a tough
And
spot.
number 5, that's okay. She is
Clearly not
is thinking long and hard on how and when you will pay for your mistake.
Yeah, it's a real.
That's actually a sign that we could purchase for the lounge. That would be a great one to pick up here for the wall for a low price of $53.99.
And then get all those words said back to you.
Yeah.
As soon as it's
Again and again and again. Yeah, that's a good one. I the warden has a very innate dialect of words that mean, like when I hear those, game over. And some of those words are better left off the air.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
You know what I'm saying? So
I'm picking it.
yeah, I don't know. That was another thing too. Like, like going back to the Valentine's Day thing where you say, they're like, don't get me anything.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get you nothing. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah.
I did that once.
Yeah. That doesn't work. Yeah. You always got to get them something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so the card that I got for the warden this year, it was a piece of, it had a slice of bread on the front of it. And it said, something about you and me are like the pieces of bread and the sandwich. It's all the other stuff in the middle that make the sandwich good or some shit like that. And I got it, and my oldest daughter, she saw it on the counter before I filled it out and put it in the envelope, and she's like, Dad, that's the cheesiest card I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, I know. That's why I bought it. You know what I mean?
Well, another dangerous situation is I don't want a gift. Or don't get me. You don't have to get me anything.
That's literally what I just said. That was literally what I just said.
That's what led to the card.
Yeah.
Oh, I space out
Yeah,
sometimes.
it's okay.
Start
It's
talking.
fine. No, it's okay. But yeah, the same thing. Yeah, you go ahead. Yeah, don't get her anything. See
Yeah.
what happens.
It's all a mistake.
Yeah.
It's all a mistake.
Yeah.
That's all I had.
Yeah, no, it's a good one.
Well, seems here in the last couple of weeks there's been all sorts of stuff. I just known lots of people that had some, surprise medical type things need to happen. And it's just, I've just decided that, do you think the healthcare industry is the last Wild West? Seems like there's a lot of shooting from the hip that happens depending on where you go and what day. I had one buddy that had a pretty similar situation as Big Mace here, and he got told it was the Big C like 3 minutes in, and they had him scheduled for everything and, getting on medication for all that, and then come to find out it was, I'm not going to say nothing, but it wasn't the Big C.
Right.
And then, Big Mace has a real similar thing, and they look at him and send him to an MRI 2 weeks later, and, we'll get a hold of you one of these days. And
Yeah, well,
Hopefully we don't lose your number.
we'll let you know and hopefully get that cut out here before it gets, big as a basketball on your ankle. But
and get my fat ass down there for my face thing. Oh, yeah, that looks like one of those. We need to get that off of there. And I said, okay, let's do it. He's like, well, we're going to have to, God dang it, what do you call it? The sample, what do you call that there?
biopsy.
A biopsy first. We got to send that off. I said, well, you guys do the thing here where you can see. Yeah, we still got to send it off. It'll be a couple weeks. We'll get there. And it's like, well, what the hell? Who's making the rules to this? It just doesn't seem like there's a lot of like
Insurance and insurance companies dictate our health care in America. You talk to any doctor. Well, I can't paint with a broad brush and say any doctor, but I would say most doctors would tell you that insurance companies prevent them from giving the adequate care that that patients deserve. And I know there's a big debate, and we don't dip our toes in the political waters, but when you have people that argue for the universal health care, you're realistically our government-sponsored healthcare, you're looking at it through these lenses, but it's done by a non-government organization, which is these insurance companies.
Yes.
Because they dictate what, when, and how. It's just like my foot.
Big pharma.
It's just exactly like my foot. The podiatrist recommended an MRI, but he said before you can go get that MRI, you got to go through physical therapy, you got to go through this NSAID, and oh, by the way, you got to wear this walking boot. Come back in 2 weeks, and then we can decide from there. When instead it just could have been like, hey, go get this done. We'll take a look. If it's nothing, we can figure it out and plan. But then for stuff, like the bad thing of it is
You must have just worded it wrong. You should have just told them that you were having extreme nerve pain, and they would have just sent you right in through
right.
there, hot shotted you right through there.
Yeah. But I think the other thing of it is like for some other stuff that you could do, and they've started to do, like, for instance, the rate of colorectal cancer deaths under 50 is one of the fastest growing cancer deaths. But insurance won't let you at 40 go get one. You got to be 45.
You have to be 10.
Why don't you start that son of a bitch at 35?
You have to be 10 years prior to your closest relative's diagnosis date. So that means if my dad,
if he was 45, then you could do it at 35.
Yeah. 10 years. So it has to be your closest relative. So like it wouldn't matter. Like your grandparent don't care. Your uncle don't care. Your, whatever don't care. It has to be your parent. Your mom or dad has to have a colorectal cancer diagnosis. And at 10 years prior to their diagnosis date is when you're supposed to start, that's when you're supposed to start your colonoscopy.
But what I'm saying is
because I wanted to start sooner because I've had I've had plenty of turd problems before. And I thought, and my parents, both of my grandmothers died from colon cancer.
Yeah.
My grandfather almost died from colon cancer on my dad. Wild Bill, he almost died from it. So I wanted to get a jump on it. That's what I talked to my family doc, and I'm like, is that something that we need to start? And he's like, well, they won't. No, you can't, not yet.
Well, and like the word, so there's been a lot of.
So that's where they give you those poop sticks.
The old ship box that you send back with UPS.
Yeah.
Have you done one?
You finger paint with your poop with a little stick. No, I've not. No, hell no. That's weird. No, no way, man.
Well, I mean, you're talking about Cologuard, like
Right. Yes. I mean, you can do that. It's very, very proactive. Like when we go to our health fair at the city, they give us a kit every year. I just haven't done it. Maybe I should.
oh,
Yeah.
that's like.
Have you? Yeah.
So, like, I think on our side, when Papa Frank had his first one, I mean, he had a lot of polyps.
Mm-hmm.
But see, like Grandma Lindemann, I think she had colon cancer issues, and then I think Grandpa Lindemann, same deal.
Yeah. Our buddy Arlo, his dad's dealing with it. I mean,
Yeah.
we've talked about that before. I mean,
Yeah.
poor Bob, he's been through the ringer with that stuff.
Yeah,
man.
and it's
tough
brutal.
spot.
Well, and I had a buddy I went to law school with. I think his uncle battled it like 7 years.
Just like everything else, man, early detection is the key.
Well, and that's what. So I was getting to it. Needed to get to it faster. A lot of these companies are developing these blood tests because these tumor markers shed proteins in the blood, and like the one that they have that you could possibly do that insurance won't cover unless you're a high risk person for it. It's like $1,000,
Wow.
and it's the blood test of it. So why would it not be cheaper for you to have the preventative blood test done than to wait until you need all this other stuff? Like I know when Mom had her, like one of the shots that they were going to get. I mean, obviously it didn't work, but one of the shots that was supposed to help alleviate some of these problems was like $10,000 a shot.
I think the one that gets me all the time is whenever you hear about people going in for exploratory surgery. You know what I mean? Like,
We'll just guess.
what
Like,
the hell are you? What are you exploring? That's like this thing I got to have on my foot. That the doc that I've been seeing, he's like, yeah, I'm going to be actually accompanied by a tenured physician that's been doing these nerve release surgeries for over 25 years and have actually taught these procedures.
It's just going to be two guys releasing on you.
Yeah. Okay, good deal there. Can't wait for that to go viral.
make sure you wear your glasses during.
Thank God I'm going to have a tube down my throat so all the other shit
Yeah,
can't
you
get
will.
in there. But the thing is like they like
Make sure they dip that a little petroleum jelly to make it easier for you to tolerate.
Almighty. The guy's been teaching this procedure on an international level forever, and he's like, yeah, man, you got some major big blood supplying vessels that run on the inside of your ankle. You got 4 different nerve tunnels that run through there. He's like, his exact words, we're going to be messing around with some shit. You know what I mean? Like there's going to be some stuff in there, that we got to keep an eye on. But he's like, we do it all the time. It's very common. And, it'd be about an hour and a half and you'll be in and out. But it's like, the people that like you say, it's a Wild West. I think a lot of these things, in the cancer world, we talk about the big C, but a lot of these, you always hear about exploratory medicines and this trial deal and, oh yeah, we're going down, going to try this and try that, and it's like, I know modern medicine is changing, day to day, really, case study to case study, but I know we don't want to dip our toes in this whole, big pharma stuff, but man, it's pretty spooky. It's a pretty spooky conversation to have.
You think that there's some patents locked away in some?
You're telling me that we can put men on the moon?
Allegedly,
we can put men on the moon,
And Helen Keller can read and write.
and we can take a hog's heart and put it in my body and make it work.
For about 3 to 6 months, maybe.
But we can't figure out how to cure cancer. We can't figure out how to cure diabetes, or at least make it to where insulin doesn't cost $50 million a month for people that have to have it to live. You know what I'm saying?
Sure that we can, but there's some level of a lot of it's, I would say most of it's money, and some level of it's probably population control. You imagine if there was no or very
you're
little
right.
terminal issues out there.
Yeah.
But
I'd
say it's just social and money reasons are the only reasons we don't.
Yeah,
I'll say-
without a doubt. And for them to tell us that it's not that,
It's
that's the shit.
Well, it's what I don't know.
Home's where you make it.
Well, I guess my thing of it is I've been down that rabbit hole personally where you wonder why, how, what, how it's different for one or the other. But you can get ratcheted up with that. But I think that we're probably closer now than what we've ever been. And I know that sounds dumb, but think about a lot of the immunotherapy stuff, a lot of the isolation of
Stem cells.
certain proteins that they do.
Don't forget about stem cells.
Yeah, they're important. But I get it. I understand what you're saying, but some of that stuff, like, we can't affect. You know what I mean? Like, some people let it eat them up. We can't affect that.
No.
Pfizer don't care what we do.
No.
They just want us to be Travis Kelce fans because
No
he got
shit.
the old. Think about how some of these.
Do they still do the? Are you talking about the?
Oh, they still push the COVID.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, there's still vaccines for that, huh?
Oh yeah, they want.
I listened
If they
to a
had it your
podcast
way,
today
you'd go get it every 3 months.
I'm wondering-
I
So I
listened to
never
a
got
podcast
sick.
today that there was every fourth commercial was about another COVID.
So I used to never get sick but once a year, but I had like 3 of those things, and I'm wondering if that's why I'm falling apart now.
Well, you would have.
We're really tiptoeing along here.
You
on
would
our
have.
old YouTube buddies.
You would have cardiomyopathy if you had anything.
Well, there's a lot of other things to it.
Yeah.
We could go into that rabbit hole deep, and we may have to off air, but
yeah.
we're real close to the old. If we earned a YouTube strike, like, that'd give us a little bit of street cred, wouldn't it?
I
Yeah.
don't know. What would you get a strike for?
Well, some of the tech overlords and couch guys over there got a hard on
Yeah.
hearing about this.
Foaming
but
at the mouth.
they would misinformation.
That's what got old Rogan in trouble.
Yeah.
He said it was bullshit. Yeah.
Well,
Ivermectin.
and then, but what's amazing is you wait 6 to 9 months, and all of a sudden things come out where it's like, because a lot of
damn.
what people don't realize about science is a lot of trying things and seeing
all
what works
trial
and
error.
doesn't work. So a lot of
Yeah,
medications,
kind of like what the whole this whole topic is about. Like
The
it's
Wild
just-
West.
It's just
and it's
trial and error.
It still is, but so think about some of these common drugs that we have. Like Viagra was actually, I think, meant for something for your heart, wasn't it?
Oh, blood pressure.
Margarine was to fatten up turkeys and chickens for slaughter.
What is?
Margarine. Like artificial butter.
Oh,
Country crock.
yeah, we don't use that. We use just butter. In the
I
household.
grew up on country crock.
But you could use like certain antidepressants help with nerve pain and neuropathy and
that
The diabetes, it's a weight loss thing now.
Ozempic?
subglumatide or whatever the hell that shit's called.
Yep.
Schmegmatide.
Schmegma. Sorry, guys. I guess I didn't realize I was getting us off on YouTube strikes when I was.
No way.
No,
This
you're not.
propanol medicine that they wanted to use for my
Sticker?
for the
palpitations.
the heart palpitations. It's a rhythm medicine that they said that it was made for in the beginning.
get rhythm.
It was made for a treat heart problems with some symptoms. It also can be used for anxiety and migraines.
Yeah.
So, like, I would use it for rhythm issues, but then somebody else could use it for.
Seems like
anxiety.
maybe you'd cause a different rhythm in the person that had a migraine. So you fix the migraine.
That's what I'm
Just give
saying.
them
That's
something else to
what
worry
I mean. That's why.
Because what was Botox? Botox was created for something else, and then they found it to be used for the plastic surgery purposes that it's used for.
Development of Botox began in the late 70s as doctors identified an injectable substance that would weaken the something eye muscles in patients as a alternate to muscle surgery.
Yeah. So I don't know. It is the trial and error, but I think with artificial
Oh,
intelligence,
it was sorry, Casey. It was originally made for people with cross eyes. Botox.
Yeah.
It was used to correct cross eyes. Ain't that weird? Huh?
What's it from? Oh god,
Adam Sandler.
No.
Whenever Tina Fey's got that one real rogue ass eyebrow, that is probably one of the most.
I was
Jennifer Aniston was losing her shit that entire
I
time.
was just thinking of that. Bobby's mother.
Bobby's mother.
Oh, there you go.
He's cross-eyed. I want to be ninja. If you don't watch Bad Friends podcast, shout out Bobby Lee. You need to check those guys out. That's hilarious.
that is a big tough spot.
But no, I don't know, man.
That's just
what
where I
gonna
was
say,
at.
AI.
Oh,
I think artificial intelligence is what
spooky.
they're using AI now, like when it comes to cancer treatments, everything else. And I think maybe that's where the medicine was possibly ready, but the technology and figuring out what it would work for wasn't caught up at the time.
I'll buy that.
You know what I mean? Because with the artificial intelligence, because now you can put all this gene sequencing code stuff into the old magic box and it'll tell you, almost the predictive behavior of it. It's only going to increase the care and
That's how
ability.
babies are made.
What?
The old G sequencing in the old magic box.
Huh.
Mm,
Be darn.
there we are.
That's nutty.
Yep.
You'll know all about that by the time you get out of the old.
Once them doctors are done releasing.
Hey, it's time though. Dear Dutchmen are a people's wonder, and we're fortunate to have a Dear Dutchman today. Dear Dutchman, I'd like to know your thoughts on bullying. I have seen hopeful signs with the younger generation, such as Be Kind t-shirts, but we need more. I have the feeling that you all might have experience with bullying, aka TikTok user 679er. Any advice on ways to handle bullying and thoughts on how to encourage folks if they witness it? Signed, we need to do better.
Well,
I'm not the best one to ask for this. I feel like bullying
yeah.
to some point.
Yeah, I knew that.
okay.
Yeah.
I feel like bullying to some point builds character a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I got bullied enough that
Well,
I
yeah.
think it was good for me. I can see how maybe it isn't all the time. But I'm also the type, if I see somebody bullying somebody else, like it's a fight fire with fire situation, which is not healthy either. I guess.
No.
But that's my go.
So for me, okay, so I was bullied heavily
Yeah.
because I've always been a fat kid forever. Like I've always been the fattest kid in my
Husky.
class.
Yeah, husky.
Yeah, hands down. Always have been. And when you look at the definition of bullying in the Oxford language, in the
The word book.
the old Webster there, to seek harm, intimidate, or coerce someone
Now,
perceived as vulnerable is what it says right there.
yeah,
To seek harm, intimidate, or coerce someone perceived as vulnerable. Okay,
definition
so here's my thing.
1995.
Bullying definition 1995.
Well, because there has been a change of language.
For sure.
By,
My thing though is don't be someone that is perceived as vulnerable. You know what I mean? Like,
well, but that's kind of his point.
right. I told my kids, because obviously I've got a son that's going to be a hefty feller too. But I think for him,
Fifth grader with a size 12 or 13 shoes.
That's
Tell him
why
to put his boot in somebody's.
that's
ass.
what I told him. And he's done a very good job of it.
Yeah.
And most of the guys that he's friends with in school, they don't do that shit. anymore.
Well, the thing is, most of the bullies are just big old pussies anyway.
Exactly.
And once you call them on that horse shit,
Exactly. If I look back at the people that bullied me when I was a kid, they're either other fat people, which is wild to me.
well, they're
Yeah.
just trying to make themselves feel better.
Exactly. Or they're just little. They're literally just little Weasley ass runts. And, little Ellie got her feelings hurt the other night. We were at the skate palace. I don't know if I told you about this or not. I might have talked about it on a show. I'm not sure.
yeah,
'cause
we
she
talked about
witnessed bullying.
Yeah, she witnessed some girls talking shit about Max because he got his ass smoked in her skate race, And I told Eleanor, I said, honey, those are just genuinely shitty people.
Yeah.
They are middle school age kids picking on a kid that's half their age that got beat by some high school kids that are on the Olympic speed skating team. You know what I mean? Give them a break. They're just genuinely shitty people. And I feel like
They peaked
like
in 5th grade.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like O'Doyle rules. You know what I mean? Like you are a
As they
big
drive the bus off the cliff.
dumb meathead.
Well,
I don't know.
the problem with all things is adults get involved in these things as they have, and it
100%.
takes it out of the hands of kids. Now, here's the caveat to that: if you're some jackass and you're bullying a kid that is of the vulnerable, like I'm talking, special needs or
Yes.
Down syndrome, or something,
Handicapped,
you
whatever.
deserve to get pummeled into the ground by somebody.
Yeah.
And you're just trash. Like there's no other way to take it. But some of this, like you talk about how it's gone from something that was, I don't know. It's a situation. It's a fine rope. It's a fine line to walk.
Kids are
because
different these days.
the kids are
man.
different these days. But the problem of it is, and this is probably a larger issue. And this is why you can't have conversations with one side of the other, depending on what political party or what you believe in, is because if you surround yourself with people that only have the same beliefs as you,
Oh yeah.
and only believe this is the way things
Any
are done,
different belief is
then
bullying.
the problem of it is, and that's exactly what it is, because we jokingly talked about, well, they changed what words mean. Well, the old days, we would have called it busting somebody's balls. Now, some people do say things that are hurtful, and that there are those people in the world.
No, they're
But that lines out as you get older, because you don't associate with that person, or you take matters into your own hands and you resolve it. But what's happened in some of these younger ages is these kids know these buzzwords
yes.
that get the attention that they need because they're not getting attention at home.
Yep.
They're not getting taken care of by family. Their parents are distant, whatever it may
Or
be.
they have low self-esteem themselves, and they're just trying to do something to make themselves feel better.
Well,
like you said.
so then they go and they say, well, I'm being bullied. And then there's these constant issues. And what happens administratively as a school, they'll bring these kids in and like, are you bullying so-and-so? And we're like, no, we're not. Like, we're not anything. Like, we're not. And so then you have parents that say, well, this school administration's not being active or proactive to fix the problem, and it's no problem. But it's because the bullying gets that kid in
it's
spotlight.
a tough
kids
spot
can manipulate.
either way you look at it.
And it
because
is.
You don't know. Every kid reacts differently to it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how. I mean, anytime that my son has ever been called fat, because he's a big fella,
Yeah.
anytime that he's ever been called fat, like he knows it, because that's how
He's self-aware.
that's how little times it's happened
Right.
to him personally. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Now me, Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? Like mine might as well just be made out of leather, because I mean there ain't nothing. You ain't gonna get any cherry off me by calling me fat.
Well, and
that's something that I've always said.
And our dear our dear Dutchmen, they point out, like, TikTok user 679er. We're well versed in that.
we like that though.
Well, but some of it is when you start talking to those people, like when I got into that back and forth on YouTube a while back with that person, like they cherry pick something to supplant their argument. And then when you start looking at it, and then they're like, well, why are you making a big deal about it? And I was like, I don't know, asshole. You came at us first. And then when I call you out on your bullshit, you can't handle it. But I think that
I think there's a lot of self-confidence that can come from that, though.
Yes,
from,
sir.
from yes, bullying's bad, but if you
Very
don't learn what, how do I want to say this?
Just say it.
Well, you learn what you got going for you. You learn how to stand up for yourself. You learn what you have that other people don't. I mean,
Right.
there's strengths and weaknesses everywhere.
Right.
And if you can't belly up to the bad, because if somebody's saying it, if it's bullying, there's something that's somehow different about you. That's,
Yes, whether it's
more
a
than
physical,
obvious.
yeah,
Yeah,
like a
there's-
physical attribute,
it
or
might be an accent. It might
Yeah.
be
anything.
weird hair, whatever it is.
Yeah,
you're
your cross-eye.
yeah.
Yeah, your fat mom. You know what I mean? Whatever.
But I think that's a good learning and developing.
Right. But on the other side of that coin, the world that we live in today is so much different than the world that we lived in when our kids were our age.
It's amazing.
Now, when I say that, I'm saying that bullying is different now than what it used to be because of, like you said, back when we were kids, we'd just wait till recess
and then
and we'd go out there and we'd get into it. We'd figure it out. Or
we'd scrape knuckles,
or they would get 5 or 6 of them and pin you down in a hole underneath the fence of the outfield and throw walnuts at you because that's what they did to me. You know what I mean? And yeah, I got pissed and I cried and it was a terrible day for me. But now I can look back on that and know, even though that some of them are probably going to listen to this and they're still my friends, they're still little Weasley. And if I would have caught them that day, I would have beat their ass. You know what I mean? Because I was way bigger than them. But the kids that are like this cyberbullying and Snapchat, like somebody takes a shit in their pants on accident. Or if a girl starts her period and is not prepared for it and it blows up on Snapchat, or they go and post photos of it everywhere, or
that's a whole
like
other
that
weird
type
thing.
of
Yeah.
cyberbullying, like the Dear Dutchman talking about what's bullying, that is more of a thing now.
because you're trying to embarrass somebody.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
Views,
that is
likes,
true.
TikToks, like stuff that we are trying to do about being funny and getting our subscriber stuff up. Like that's the shit that goes viral now.
Yeah,
on Twitter.
Yeah,
and
that
everything
is a whole
else.
different ass thing.
That's what I mean.
well,
man.
and the bad thing of it, some of it is, and it's wild saying it because we live on the internet a little bit with what we do.
Right,
But the
not
reality
that
of it is
internet.
these kids, they don't need
They're ruthless, man.
They don't
That's
need
what
that
they
stuff.
are.
Well, it goes back to, we talked about it last week, these high school barstool accounts.
Yes.
Like it's easy.
Yes.
And we've got a great keyboard warrior
Yes,
here
sir.
with us.
We've got one in our state.
And he's the only one with diabetes.
right. But like we don't need, it's like the on the movie The Boondock Saints, whenever
Boondog or Boondock?
Boondock, whenever
Okay.
he said El Duce, we got to get the devil, or El Duce. It's like we don't need to get that guy out.
Yeah,
yet.
not yet.
We're not there yet.
He's only in case of emergency.
But a lot of time, but I'm just saying, like those, but that's that whole bullying. I guess to answer her question, in my opinion, we need to do better. Yes, because underage suicide. I don't even know why I say underage suicide. Any age suicide.
minority. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
suicide in general. The
Not
numbers are.
minority, like age minority.
Yeah, good God. Bunch of immigrants blowing their heads off. But what I'm saying is those people,
Man,
like-
somebody's going to take this clip and be like, "Oh, he released on his face, and immigrants blew his head off."
wow, they're going to really clip it up. But the thing I'm trying to get at, the point I'm trying to make is that like the exterior stimuli that children have and kids have these days with the internet and social media and the cyberbullying and everything like that, it's got to be way harder than
But
getting called
that,
a fat ass on the playground than what we were. When
But
we
is
were
that
kids.
just a symptom of the deeper issue? Like,
Yeah.
because how many people are raising their kids now with a digital device?
A lot.
Like here it is, and we're guilty. Road trip it. Hey, get them iPads, kids.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have social media on there, but they're watching their Netflix.
Whatever.
movies.
Yeah.
So that I think is becoming a parenting tool now.
Oh, it's a
And-
total pacifier. Yes.
So, but now this kid's basing everything that they know off of this the validity or credibility, I guess, of that whole digital footprint.
Yeah, like how many views does he have? How many
so that-
followers does he?
You know, I don't know.
It's a different world.
I think
man.
it comes
That's what we
back-
can chalk it up to.
It comes back to having a parent or both parents, not necessarily in a home, but two parents working together to raise their children to be the people their pets would be proud of them.
That's
You know, but
People that their pets
I
would
feel
tell
like
other
you got to
people's
talk
pets
through
about.
that with your kids,
But I
though, and
s-
the answer isn't necessary. To me,
it's no
for my
simple
boys,
answer.
the answer isn't. Yeah, okay, so they shouldn't have done that, but you're going to have to learn how to deal with it because
Yes,
life sucks.
100%.
Well, but that's the other
you're
problem.
people are
too.
assholes.
You're going to deal with
You-
little peckerheads that the rest of your
You
life.
try. I think that's part of where adults got involved when it was a children's and kids issue, when things like naturally would the weakest of the pack get eaten,
Yeah.
and those that don't want to get eaten get stronger.
Mm-hmm.
But what you've done now is you've created these safety blankets
Yes.
that get overutilized because some adult says, instead of, like, to your point, it would have been solved out at recess, or there would have been that confrontation, or there would have been that conversation. Because the worst part about it is now you got adults that if you don't know how to stand up for yourself and do what you need to do that's right, you're going to get walked on your
Might as well
entire
be a
life.
floor mat.
But what the problem of that happens, though, is we get into that thing of victim status.
Yes.
And there are way too many people in this world that jump straight to victim status because then it goes back to you talked about likes, clicks, and all this other stuff. How many times do you see it on TikTok? Little Jimmy had a birthday party and nobody showed up, and send him a card or send him this. And then it all flows in. Turns out little Jimmy's just fine. He had a parent that was like old Rose Gypsy Rose Blanchard mom that was just a crazy nut. But it's tough. Raise your kids better.
It's a wild world we live in.
It is.
That's a good one, though.
Yeah. Thank you for that,
Yeah.
dear Dutchman. And now we move on to the next thing, Dave,
Hell yeah, we do.
Hell yeah, we do.
which is the Merkley and Sons Choice Cuts questions of the week for the
Hold up,
fellas.
fellas.
Brought to you by Merkley and Sons. Let's hear from them now.
Welcome to the Merkley and Sons Choice Cuts Questions of the Week for the Fellas, sponsored by Merkley and Sons, the ultimate destination for meat enthusiasts. I'm back on the breakfast kick. They say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and I happen to agree. Whether you're frying up some of Merkley's delicious bacon or have some sausage links on the griddle, Merkley's is your go-to spot for your breakfast. I like to think about it like this. No breakfast is complete without one of Merkley's quality meats on your plate. Check them out today and see how you can build a better breakfast for you and your family.
Okay.
Hey,
There we go. Hey, big thank you to Bradley and John Boy. Get on over there and check them out. Hey, today's questions come from our buddy, Justin Frick.
Hey!
Justin Frick here supplied some questions. Favorite late night news outlet? Fricky doesn't strike me as a guy that watches the late night news, but what is your favorite late night news outlet?
I don't know. Twitter.
Yeah, I don't watch any news outlet. I Google News has learned me, and it kind of knows what I want to see and just puts it all in one spot.
Yeah, probably Twitter. It's probably where I'm at. I probably don't get. It's not like I sit down and watch
I don't
the nightly
use
news.
News
Well,
Break.
Hold on.
I don't get.
I will say this: our buddy Mitchell Carter. and
Oh
his
yeah,
squad,
yeah.
We support Mitchell. So that if I had to say a news outlet, 14 WFIE with
Yeah.
our friend Mitchell Carter.
Yeah.
Shout out Mitchell. Favorite character from MASH. Favorite character from MASH.
Gosh, I can't even think of.
I can't either. God.
You got Hawkeye, Benjamin Franklin Pierce. You got Honeycutt. You got
Who was the
Winchester?
actor that was Hawkeye?
Alan Alda.
Yeah, that's him.
You like Hawkeye?
Yeah, that was mine too. Hawkeye. Yeah.
I would say I'm torn because I like the Winchester character after they got rid of Larry Linville as Major Frank Burns and they brought in Major Charles Emerson Winchester because David Ogden Stiers is a pretty good actor. But I also was a big fan of Colonel Sherman T. Potter, played by Harry Morgan. So that would probably be where I'm at. Did you know you can get Big Mac sauce in any burger at McDonald's?
Yes.
I did not know.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ricky. What happened to the tobacco pipe? Would you bring it back?
So I was always a big advocate for the pipe. I had one.
I had a corncob pipe.
I had
in
a
college.
church warden. I went to, I don't even know if it's still around or not. It may be, but it was called Briar and Bean in Evansville.
Yeah.
It was over on Burkhart. We used
Yeah,
to go there
right
all the
there.
time. And they had their own mix. Like they would mix their own aromatics. They would do, like one of them was called Gentleman Jack. The other one's called Briar's Best. Like we would buy, and you could buy it by the ounce, and then, you stoke your pipe up and all that. I learned a lot of it from Wild Bill. But yeah, I enjoyed it
Now, it's interesting.
until somebody smoked an illegal substance through it, and then I couldn't use it anymore because I was subject to random drug tests. But that kind of pissed me off. But
Go ahead. Your answer, Dave.
Oh, yeah. So I haven't had a pipe since then, but I feel like once I'm decided I made it far enough and I'm
Couch
just
guy had
working
one
on
for-
dying, like,
Get to working on dying.
Scotch, and you're gonna go.
no, not scotch, but I could see me sitting on the porch, like maybe great grandkids time,
Great
you know,
kids time.
rocking.
Grandpa
smoking
Bill.
my
I don't
pipe,
think
listening
Wild
to a
Bill.
record
Not
player.
much. There's not much inhaling that goes on in
No.
there. I mean, some. I mean, every third puff or fourth, maybe you could take a good
Yeah.
lung full, but most of it's just for the
Puffing on-
ambiance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's I think that's we're missing that in the world.
Yeah.
Porch
Ambiance.
sitting,
Yeah, maybe. Gosh.
taking time to just
Is
relax.
that tobacco use if you smoke a pipe since you don't inhale it?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe just get a little puffer to put a pipe in, and I like the smell of a pipe.
Just puff it out there. Or,
Yeah.
We'll just have a couch guy rip on one the whole time back there.
That'd be great. I'm a big fan of him. My grandpa Lindemann was a pipe smoker, and I love the smell. I mean, that's one of my fondest memories of a child. Is
King Edwards.
yeah. But I was going to ask you because Wild Bill was a cigarette guy too.
Oh, God, yeah.
Grandpa Lindemann was a cigarette guy, and it's amazing how many of those cigarette guys were also pipe guys. I find that
Grandpa had this little, Wild Bill had this little basket on the porch underneath their little porch table there. And he would, there was a radio, there was a old oxygen tank. You know that ashtray that sits in my garage? That's the bottom of it's the bottom of an oxygen tank from a firefighter. They cut it off and beveled the edges. He did and made an ashtray out of it. But there was that, and then that basket was just plumb full of pipes. There's probably 10 or 15 of them in there, and they were all different shapes, sizes, this and that, unfiltered, filtered. All of them were different.
Yeah.
And then there was a little tin there that had it was just pouches of different flavors and smells and whatnot, and he never kept lighters out, because there was us. We were kids, running around. And Grandpa was a Zippo guy for a long time. I mean, he did have a Bic or two that float around in a drawer, but 90% of the time he had a Zippo.
yeah, something. I'm
pretty sure we buried him with one too
that's pretty cool.
in his pocket, or maybe we didn't. We kept it because it was. I have one of his original Zippos that most of the letters are wore off, but he took his Dremel tool and did BM on his lighter, Bill Masner.
There you go.
That's cool. So.
Papa Frank, there's an old adage: never hire a man that smokes a pipe
Oh, yeah?
because he's either cleaning it, smoking it, packing it, or talking to somebody about it.
Or lighting it.
Or like, yeah,
that's
what
right.
he said that. So, next one: how would you handle a tragic loss of a household family dog? Would you find another one right away or wait?
No, you got to wait, man. You can't jump right into another one. I know people that have jumped right into another one, but I'm not. Which I know the warden, if she would listen to this too, she's waiting for one of them to hit the dirt so we can go get a crusty white dog, a little baby crusty white dog. Because
Crusty white dog.
She wants a little crusty white yapping ass baby dog, like a little dog,
Oh boy.
Yeah, and no, I'm gonna. It's going to be a bad day around 10:25 when old Rubes crosses the bridge here. But
Yeah.
I would wait.
I'm not getting dogs again.
Yeah.
We would. I'd say I wouldn't say we would be right away, but it wouldn't be like 10 years later we finally get one.
No, I wouldn't say mine would be 10.
Well,
years.
10 was a little bit dramatic. Like, are we going out like we bury Monty?
Yeah, I've still got
we bury Monty.
still
this
got
week.
mud on my boots while we're
Yeah.
going to the puppy mill to get
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah, I would say it wouldn't happen that way, but I would say within 6 months to a year, we'd get another one. Fourth Street Live, Louisville, Kentucky, or Lower Broadway, Nashville, Tennessee.
Ooh, Broadway.
Yeah, you're
Without
not.
it, without a
Louisville's a dump. You ain't touching Nashville, Tennessee.
doubt.
What's that?
Louisville's a dump.
It is. It's turned into that. And then he finished it with "Keep it up, boys?" ? So I don't know if we're supposed to stop or
He probably just meant to put an exclamation point.
I probably. Hey, Justin, thank you for the questions. We
Hell
appreciate
yeah.
it. Thanks for being a big fan of the show. And probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen. No footage that night where you come climbing out of the back.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We
He
gotta
wasn't even driving his own damn Jeep that night. That was even.
roll out the back. That's a bitch.
Oh, God. I love
Oh, that's the early days when we were irresponsible.
it. Yeah.
Hey, but unfortunately, like all good things, Couch Guy's ready to go home. He's got to return the minivan to the old lady. And unfortunately for us, it is time for us to call it a night. But before we do, let's hear from our friends at Hopf Outdoor Power as they present The Last Pass. The Last Pass is proudly sponsored by our friends at Hopf Outdoor Power. Now let's talk about the current weather situation. It's been all over the map so far. We have had super cold and very mild, some snow, and some rain. However, as we all know, conditions can change swiftly here in southern Indiana. Our golden rule is simple: don't get caught unprepared. It's crucial to act preemptively, especially when it comes to your equipment, whether it's your tractor, side-by-side, snowblower, or any other essential gear. Hopf Outdoor Power is here to assist you in upgrading your equipment or ensuring that your existing machinery stays in top-notch condition. Visit Hopf Outdoor Power today and be well prepared for whatever weather comes our way this year.
Hey.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate all those guys over.
It is
at
getting
Power.
close to grass mowing season.
Yeah, dang right.
And
Yes,
we're
sir.
big, firm believers in mow responsibly.
I was over there today talking to the boys, and they have got a lot full of yellow paint over there.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of cubs over there waiting on new owners.
Yeah. Big fella we got.
Well, as we talked in the beginning of the show, got a surgery coming up. Not too thrilled about it, but I am glad that we've maybe got a plan in action to try to get this foot pain to go away. Basketball tournament coming up. Hopefully that goes well. I don't know. Going back to the bullying thing, I don't take bullying lightly. And I don't think you should either. If you know someone that's getting bullied, or if they're dealing with an issue that they can't help, or if they're outnumbered by their bulliers, let us know. We'll stomp some heads. Yeah. But no, in all seriousness, it's a real problem, and it's easier for kids to do it these days, because everybody's big, bad, and brave behind the keyboard. So it's a real deal. So I don't know, man. I don't really have anything. Live long and prosper, and spread positivity. If you need anything, the door's always open. And send in more questions for the Dear Dutchmans and the choice cuts and all that stuff. We need some more audience interaction and all that stuff. We love that. We love the good feedback on the new format, like with the
Has there been some good feedback?
yeah, I've heard
There's
several
not been
people.
any bad feedback.
I've heard several people talk about it, so that's cool. So other than that, that's all I got. Smoke Dragon, what you got, bud?
Well, just keep it real short and simple today. But You know, nature often reflects life and whatnot, so we'll just reference the weather here today. But been lots of stuff going on with folks here lately, and just like life things, like holy shit, life things for
Yeah,
just a weird year for a lot of people, I think.
for sure.
But anyway, you always got to stay prepared and watch the forecast and be ready for what's coming. But don't let a bad forecast of tomorrow spoil what good afternoon you might have today. And that's it.
Good. That's a great one. Casey, what you got?
So this is going to be airing on the 23rd of February. And as we sit here,
Oh, 6 days left in the month after that this year.
Yeah, 29 days this year.
And my lovely bride and I will have celebrated another birthday. I will be 37 years young on February 19th, which it's wild. Didn't used to think I cared much about birthdays. You care about 16, 18, 21, and then the rest of them can go to hell in a handbasket. But I think I've learned to cherish and enjoy each birthday.
Yeah.
It's a personal challenge to try to rack up as many of those bad boys as I can.
YOLO, dog.
But also the fact that I share a birthday with my lovely bride is unique and interesting.
Very.
And out of the 3 children, I had hoped one of them would be born on the 19th because I think the odds of that, I looked it up one time, Smoke, pretty amazing odds there. Not real strong for it to be likely to happen. But so I say this, when your birthday rolls around, you don't have to do anything wild. You don't have to do anything crazy. But take a little time to thank the good folks around you and the fact that you got your health and you got your family and you got a lot of good going your way. And really, it's just be appreciative. And, to see, hopefully still here in 4 days to celebrate it. But I will say one thing I do miss. My mother was a very big fan of the early morning phone call on your birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning phone call.
Gotta be the first one.
And it's tough because you miss that call. At the time, you think, what a freaking inconvenience. But there's nothing in this world. There's a few things in this world that I have, mainly children, and that I would give it up all in a heartbeat to have her call one more time. But that's for another day. Celebrate those birthdays. Enjoy life. Keep on kicking it with us because we got some good things coming up. And, hell, we're just having fun, boys.
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, and with that, Smoke.
Dutchman out.